Hello, welcome to Spurs Kings TV. It is Monday. It's time for Ashmatic Analysis. Ash, you well on this bank holiday
Yes,
week?
yes, bank holiday, man. It's beautiful. Weather was, nice. The birds were chirping, and I didn't get a single Easter egg, man. How about that?
Man, I've got a few. I ain't gonna lie. Usually I don't get one, but I got a few this time round. So I've been chocolated out, man.
Crazy, crazy. Well, listen, Spurs Tudor. I saw a little replay of him finding out his dad was dead. Found out
Yeah,
his dad was unalive, didn't it? And it was in a Nottingham Forest game. And when the final whistle went off, the
yeah.
look on his face was horrible. I
It's
can
gotta be
only
tough.
imagine like what he was going through. Obviously, losing a game as a
Yeah,
as a manager or even as a player, you must hate losing. And then all the fans booing as well. Obviously, the fans never knew, but
yeah.
when I saw the clip back, I said, "Oh, you know what? It's rough.
Rough,
It's rough."
rough. I think what should happen at some point is that they should invite him back to the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium if we
Mm.
survive or not, and just because the fans will appreciate him in that sense.
Yeah,
Just to say, look, yeah, it's not your fault. You were aware our anger was aimed at, but actually, after everything you went through,
Mm.
just to come back. But yeah, interesting. I've not seen it, so
Yeah, no, it's a mess, man. And also, it's funny, isn't it? Because the club's come out again and they said, "Look, we don't want to go back to Poch." Everyone was like saying,
of
"Poch is
course they don't want
coming,
to go
Poch is
much.
coming back," but they don't want to be identified with the whole Levy era. And I thought, bro, but hold on, when Levy was here, he also said the same thing that they didn't want to go back to Poch. Do you know what I mean? Even though
Yeah,
the fans were saying, but apparently it was Donna Cullen that
yeah.
was pushing back.
Donna, it was Donna Cullen was big pushing back. So it'd be interesting to know what has happened at the club.
Well,
Well, I suppose Matthew's there still, isn't he?
Well, but
So
apparently it was Vivian that was saying she didn't want to go back to anything to do with Levy, innit? Because she doesn't really
yeah,
like him like that.
she hates him.
So it's mad though because I thought they would have got Poch back and backed him and said, "Yeah, this is the way."
You should have
No,
done
no,
it.
yeah, do you know what I'm saying? They would
Yeah.
have spun it that way, but they never went that way. And I thought he completely lost it. I think she may have disgruntled a few fans because a lot of fans want a Poch back, innit? Hence why there's a bit of a divide at the moment. Do you get it?
It's interesting. Two women don't want him back. It's very interesting.
The
Because
girl, innit?
Donna Cullen was the big one. I remember Donna Cullen was the big
Honest-
one that didn't want him back.
Yeah,
And then, yeah, for it to be Vivian now.
boy. Crazy, it's crazy. But
Interesting.
what's even more mad is like, obviously we'll talk about it in the show. The whole Vinay and Langer, their jobs being under threat, and obviously Bucho, who's not even like the one that he's not even meant to be the one that runs it, but he come like he runs the club, come
Well,
like he's
apparently,
CEO.
they said that Lange's job is more under threat than Vinay.
Yeah, yeah,
Vinay is
yeah,
more
yeah,
like to keep his job, in he?
yeah, yeah. But it's still under trouble, still under threat, man. But anyway, man, let's bring out the guest, man. Talking too long. Oh, sorry about that, mate. How the cookie crumbles, isn't it? Y'all got dogs. Huh?
Is everyone good?
Yeah, not bad, man. Listen, no Spurs equals happy faces for now, isn't it?
Let's be honest. We know why everyone's got a happy face. Everyone's seen the training video. So,
Yeah, not only that. Listening to what Ash was saying about like how Poch, about Tudor finding out. I think I did say that. I think he found out at halftime. For his face, because the whole demeanor changed. Like the players were up for it. Halftime happened. He made those subs, but everything fell flat. It looked like the players like all knew what was happening. It was all in their minds, and it just felt like, yeah, they realized that, yeah, if we lose, there's more important things to happen. And as for Poch, yeah, that's, I think, well, how come fans not realize this by now that they were never getting Poch back? No matter who comes out and say it, they were never going to go back to Poch. Just
rough.
not going to happen.
It's a hard pill to swallow.
Yeah, it's you got to move on. You got to move
But
on.
it was too much media. You know what it is? If he wasn't so much in the social media light where he's
Shaking
his butt.
up with Ozzy Ardiles and all the old school people, he's there like, friends forever. And then he comes out as well.
Yeah.
Does about 2 different interviews / podcasts, and he's saying
Yeah.
Tottenham, like he's meant to be talking about USA, but somehow we get brought up. Like it's not even like we're forcing him to do it. He's doing it off his own back, saying, you know, I've got unfinished business. I want to manage in the Premier League again, blah, blah, blah. Where he could have come, but obviously we never went for him, and then he ended up at Chelsea. You know what I'm saying?
That right there. That
long...
right there is what you just said. Spurs could have got him, went no, and he went to Chelsea. And like I think I've always said, Poch just uses Spurs. Like I think it's the media
uses Spurs.
No, well, let me finish. I think the media asks him. They'll always ask him that. Poch will be 80 years old, and he'll still say he has unfinished business. The same thing. It was always repetitive. But deep down, I know Poch wasn't going to go back. Or no, sorry, Spurs wasn't going to go for Poch. Got to move on. So nothing. The reason I'm smiling is like, I had a feeling that was the case. Fans want him back.
Did you want Poch back or not?
No. No. Just basically because of the reasons. I still doesn't think he's a top elite manager, and his record has shown that. Like I think it's nostalgia, and I think it's more kind of like if the fans who want to Poch back, it's kind of like it's based off Poch rather than what Poch would do for Spurs. If that makes sense, it's like we don't care about Spurs moving forward. We just want the club to do what we want, which is bring Poch back.
I honestly
you know what I mean?
No. I honestly think that the fans were tired of the football underneath the last two managers, meaning it was quite pragmatic, quite sensible. And even though, like, I hear what you're saying, it's a bit of nostalgia. Like when we were winning, this was the best version of Spurs that fans ever saw. I think for a lot of fans, they wanted to go back towards attacking football, at least. And at least with Poch, he brings some of that. And the character he is as well. It wasn't too... we've had like managers that are quite explosive, quite intense. Like you got your Contes, for example, Mourinho. Big characters, big personalities. And sometimes they felt like they were bigger than the club. But then you've got managers like Ange and Poch. They kind of felt the club. They felt like they were part of us. They backed it. Do you know what I'm saying? They're the only managers or coaches that actually back the club and say, listen, like, no, we should be up there. We should be like, well, these other managers came in and it felt like they were talking like down to us, if that makes sense. And they were...
No, it does. But you have to understand as well that, or what I saw was that when Conte had his little rant, a lot of the same Spurs fans agreed with Conte. And so, you know what I mean? They were agreeing with Conte. And with Poch, like toward the last season of Poch signified, because what rumors came out that wasn't, picked up on was that when Spurs lost that final, Poch didn't speak to the players. He just left. There was I think Harry Kane came out and said that he came in the dressing room, then he just huffed. And then the whole dressing before that, the start of that season, they said that Poch was different. He wasn't as responsive. He was like in a sulk, like grumpy or disappointment. Because again, what you have to remember as well that there's only a certain amount of times that a manager can reach a semi-finals or a finals and lose before he starts questioning if he can ever win a final, which Poch technically in the Premiership hasn't done. Even at PSG, he was brought in to win the Champions League, and I think he bottled that as well. And I think even in he won it the second time.
So did Emery. Emery bottled it too.
But Emery, but that's what I'm saying. It's like Emery has won. He won with Aston Villa. You know what I mean? He had a proven record with Villarreal as well, whereas Poch didn't. Was almost there. Was almost. I mean, the whole transition of Spurs are bottlers came from the Poch era, because Spurs bottled the league, Spurs bottled the Champions League, Spurs bottled the FA Cup semi-finals. So that was the. So I'm happy that it's good that Poch is not gonna.
So are you saying you would have preferred a Glasner then? Is that what you're saying? Like,
no, I'm not saying any of that. I'm just.
No. I'm saying no. It sounds like.
What do you mean Glasner? As in
a trophy winner manager? Do you know what I mean? So that's.
I think that has to be It has to be either the next step, and if you can't get one, get someone who has the potential to try and win a trophy. Every manager wants to win a trophy, but with Poch, the record shows that no matter what club he's, apart from the PSG, but it's PSG. He had Messi, Neymar, and then Dembele. You know what I mean? And they cleaned the league that way. But when it came to Chelsea, he got to the FA Cup final. What happened? He lost.
Does that mean you're against De Zerbi then? Because De Zerbi hasn't won.
No, what I'm saying is,
he's only won Super.
What I'm saying is the difference between Zerbi and if Zerbi gets, say next season hypothetically, gets the finals and loses, then. But what I'm saying is, Poch has shown over and over that when he gets the finals, he's incapable of winning those big games. So that's the history. I'm not saying like if Poch had won FA Cup or the League Cup, I think that would have been a completely different outlook. And if he'd have won the Champions League, if he'd have won the Premiership, which everyone said he should. But like I said in previous videos, like every manager that Poch faced in the semi-finals or in the finals was a manager who won a trophy and he lost against them. So that I just feel that Poch.
Well, so the narrative was from a lot of fans is that he wasn't backed. So you disagree.
Of course, you're going to say that. But
you disagree with that sentiment.
Yeah, well, because if they'd have won, if Poch had won, like Pep Guardiola gets backed because he wins trophies. They know that, and it's also the player. He's going to convince. Hi, I almost won a trophy.
Yeah, but just go. Is it
just us three today?
Huh? Yeah, it's us three.
All right, okay, all right, that's cool.
So, you say not backed. I think it all comes from narrative. So, say the season we did finish second.
Yeah.
What happened that summer to Manchester City compared to what happened to Spurs?
Yeah, absolutely right.
So, but that's why people will sit there and say,
no, I get that.
We, when we say getting backed, Manchester City went, all right, Pep. I get what you're talking about. I completely get because Pep's won stuff before. But that first season, we were all calling him Fraudiola, and it was getting to him. But Manchester City went and spent 200 and something million on a defense.
Yes, absolutely right. And it's cool that there's only three of us because we can get deep into stuff. Right. So, yeah, absolutely. But what I'm saying is that Man City won a trophy before. They won the Premiership.
Yeah, but not under Pep.
Not under Pep, but they got Pep in, who had proven had won the treble. So basically, yes, they had to back Pep. And during that whole time when Pep came in, I said, right, if Spurs was to win something, they had 2 years to do it.
Which was Leicester year and Chelsea year.
Yeah, 2 years to do it. And lost out to Leicester.
To be fair, the Leicester year, okay, let's be completely honest, that was completely fluke and luck that we even found ourselves in that situation because none of us expected it.
Mm-hmm. That's what I'm saying. It was highly unexpected, though. If you look at the teams, you would say that Spurs had the better team. In essence,
in essence. But you got to remember, at Christmas we were what, 5th, 6th.
Yeah,
Arsenal top at Christmas at that point when Leicester won it. So
Arsenal wasn't that good.
Yeah, we weren't even in the conversation at Christmas.
Yeah. Even Arsenal wasn't that good, though. That's what I'm saying. The league wasn't. It was amazing.
It wasn't. Yeah, I think everyone fell off. Apart from everyone, all the big teams fell off, and Leicester and Spurs kind of went, "Oh, here we are."
Yeah, and that was a chance. Like, I'll never. The Chelsea game, I think, showed Poch who he was, because I think a top manager would have calmed that game down. Would have said to the players, "Don't get into a dogfight. Don't get into Chelsea's, way of playing." Because Chelsea just said, "Right, we're going to kick you. We're going to get you outsettled." Spurs were 2-0 up at Stamford Bridge. They could have seen that game out, and that would have been a completely different story.
What year was that in? Was that the third season for Poch?
Third season.
Third season of Poch, yeah. And that was that the second half when it kicked off, right?
Second half, yeah, because we were 2-0 up.
Yeah.
So
I think Pedro.
So go on.
Yeah, sorry. I think Pedro scored just before halftime to make it 2-1. Just before, and then in the Hazard. But I mean, there was a fight, everything.
No. So it wasn't even after, because Gary Cahill scored halfway during the second half, and then Hazard scored 10 minutes left.
Okay.
Yeah, I won't forget that game. Trust me.
Yeah, no, that's okay. Yeah,
I nearly got divorced that game. Yeah, it was Gary Cahill. It was on just after half. It was both in the second half because we were 2-0 up, and
yeah,
I do agree with you. He should have probably kept control of it, but I think the problem is that because of how the first half went and how up they were for it, because of this, it was Cesc Fabregas's comments on Monday Night Football a few weeks before, and that was always what their motivation was. So for Poch in his mind, he's like, "Well, fuck it, we're 2-0 up. These boys want it." And if I remember correctly, I think a lot of us were actually pleased in the way we handled that game, it was just the way it ended really just killed us because Chelsea.
I think Chelsea just had a lot more quality than us.
I think they had a lot more. Yeah, the quality.
They had Hazard on the bench, Costa. Like they had real
Chelsea.
winners.
Yeah, Chelsea were doing.
Bench, to be fair, and who did we have on our bench?
Yeah, we have nobody.
You know what I'm saying, so
but Chelsea at the time, yeah,
when you
Chelsea
say
had better quality.
Spurs had a good 11, but past that 11, then we dip into the window and think. And I saw Dele Alli came on Monday Night Football, and he said, yeah, they thought they could win the league, but they just thought they were just one or two players shy of getting over that line. Do you know what I'm saying? Their starting 11 was fine, but if you swapped out any players, because those 11 could only play 90 minutes every week, twice a week. Remember, Champions League and Premier League, but they never had players to rotate, to swap out. They had Lamela, of course, yeah. But then after Lamela, and who was always injured, by the way, who else could you bring on to help with those 2 games a week? We know how relentless it is as well. And we know how Pochettino liked to press. He was the high intensity, etc., etc. We've experienced that under Ange. Like, Ange obviously tried to do his thing and found out, right, you know what? There's 2 game a week's no joke, Champions League. And he's found out at Celtic as well. But going back to Poch, looking back at what he did, Champions League got us, like, you know, to the latter rounds. And then obviously competing in the league as well. It's no small feat, you know, with the resources that he had, in my opinion. So I kind of see the other side of it as well. I do hear what Oren's saying in terms of, like, yeah, he's a bottler. He didn't get over the line and rare tear. But I just think if he had the bench or had 1 or 2 players to come off, I think that would have made a difference, because that can win you games. That's what
yeah.
Chelsea.
But I suppose Oren will then come back and say, well, he had a bench at PSG and he still bottled the league.
The thing is, yeah. So basically, in order to
and one thing we always moaned at Poch for, I remember this. The one thing we always moaned at Poch for, and a bit like what we moaned at Conte for, their substitutions was bizarre, very bizarre. Even with the players, even when we had a full, like, Poch would make some strange decisions at strange times.
Poch at times, it felt, let the game go past him. He would just stand there and watch the game and get caught up. And then it'll be like 75th minute, and you're like, "Are Spurs going to make a substitution?" And also, I think when we used
to be 4-0 up, and he kept Harry Kane on to like the night. I don't get it was because he was our top goal scorer, but you've got to manage a lot. And I think, to be fair, Arteta's now finding out the same when he's keeping on likes of Saka to the end and Odegaard for those 2-3 seasons where they were relentless. And now I think what's happening with them is that they're starting to pick up more and more injuries as what our players did.
Yeah, and like I said as well, like, again, I'm not saying that Poch wasn't a good manager. It just felt that in order to back a manager, you have to be able to win. And you have to remember as well that Spurs were moving into a new stadium, they were rebuilding, and I think Poch was given I think Poch signed, like, I read a really interesting article around the time. I think Poch overachieved. I think he was brought in to, like, get Spurs to top 4, and he had a 5-year plan, because I remember listening to him. He says, my plan in 5 years was to get Spurs in the top 4 playing regular Champions League football, which he technically achieved that.
The rest too early, didn't he?
Yeah, and then what happened was he came afraid, because I'd always remember him talking about Moreta. I think it was an ex-Chelsea player. Spurs went in for him, and Moreta says, no, you've got Harry Kane. No, you've got Eriksen. You have to remember that these 11 group of players were top-notch. And could Spurs really... I mean, the whole talk about that whole time, especially after the Leicester season, is how many players of these top players will Spurs have to sell, or the big clubs will come in and buy? It was only Kyle Walker. Yes, fans will say he wasn't back, but that bulk of that money, because Spurs didn't win anything at all that season. They got money for, getting the Champions League and finishing 3rd, even though they should have finished 2nd, got hammered 5-1 by Newcastle in the last game of the season. But, like, who was already relegated. But, like, it's a case of, right, what are we going to do now? Do we splash the cash on big players, or do we give Harry Kane a 7-year contract? Eriksen a big contract. So basically the money went in to keep Spurs, those top players, and then whatever money was left over went into the... I personally think to finish 2nd in the... Spurs should have maybe won it the first time against Leicester, but the 2nd season definitely should have won something.
Again, I just think if we didn't move out that stadium and we refreshed because he was talking about the squad still, meaning the motivation had dropped a bit. He needed like new blood in. It was the same players playing with each other for numerous amount of seasons. I think there could have been a difference. Do you know what I'm saying? I'm not saying he would have necessarily got us over the line, but I think he would have been able to. Because I remember when Musa Dembele, like when he got injured, the drop off for me in the midfield was crazy, and he was the one that could glue it all together essentially. So that's where I felt like that was the area where we needed to heavily invest in, and I just felt like when he did get the players that he did wanted and had to wait how many years for it, it was too little, too late because he ended up getting a sack by November. Obviously, Levy was already looking at Mourinho, and he wanted to get that kind of trophy duck off his back. Do you know what I mean? He was sick of that kind of bottlers thing as well. So he looked at Mourinho. All of a sudden, there's a documentary happening. These players are getting filmed. Do you know what I'm saying? And I'm like, where's the priorities here? Do you know what I'm saying? We should be focusing on our football, not doing up documentaries and then coming into new stadiums. I just felt like one more season, that stadium we kind of built into a fortress on the Poch, like moving away into Wembley, that killed us, in my opinion. So I see where you guys are saying like there is a lot of sentiment. In-game management could have been worked on. Yes, I do agree. I think when he's moved from PSG, he had to handle a lot of divas. Imagine trying to build a team, but then you've got to accommodate Messi, Neymar, and Mbappe. And I make it sound like, oh no, you've got to deal with world class. Oh, do you know what I mean? But imagine when he dropped Messi, it was a problem. Like he dropped Messi, and it was like the media went after him instantly, and he came out and said that the reason why he dropped Messi is because Messi had a knock. He was actually injured, and he wanted to save him for 2 games down the line. And I think it was a cup game that he missed out on. But the fact that the way they were onto him for dropping Messi, but the point he was making is like under Spurs there was no divas. He had a nucleus of players that would work for the team. But at PSG, he had to manage the egos. You know what I'm saying? That kind of got in the way of developing other players and getting them up. But then to Chelsea, obviously that was a rough start because he had pure kids. He took over, was it Lampard or was it Potter? Anyway, it was a mishmash and it was a mess at Chelsea. He came over and of course he didn't get it. He didn't start with flying colours. He eventually got those players to believe and listen to him and settle in. And I think by the end of it, he just missed out on 5th. I think it was 1 point behind us in Ange's first season. Do you know what I mean? And I think the record he had in that second half of the season was like, I think it was either second or first in terms of win percentage.
Second, I think.
Seconds, yeah. So
it was just after Teta.
I'm not gonna look at that Chelsea reign that he had and be like, like Poch.
Yeah, but then you can also look at it as what Chelsea did the right thing. They got Poch to do the dirty work, and then they went and brought in a manager that could go and win something in Maresca.
But I just think that they wanted to go to a more possession-based style, and that's the reason why I'm more of a yes man, because I think Poch was getting frustrated. Remember, they sold
It was Conor Gallagher was the
one.
Yeah. Conor Gallagher was the one that wrote it.
Right, you're selling my guys, but what you man doing? He was like, listen, if you're not going to listen to us, bye, see you later. We've already got our tactical that we want. Do you know what I'm saying? And they just brought him in. So then, yeah, I hear it. Like, I hear the argument.
Because the thing is as well, like I get it. Look, the problem is that David Moyes right now is proving you can go back to an ex. Mm-hmm. The job he's doing at Everton is Everton have not seen this since David Moyes.
Yeah, they're happy now because they were falling. They were falling out. They were going in the wrong direction.
And I think Moyes was there when the stadium was being mooted, and Everton fans were like thinking that I think at the time that it would be Moyes that would take him in because they thought he was there for life and this, that, and the other. But obviously, things changed, things have happened. But they'd never, in their wildest dreams, would ever believe that they'd be in this situation now. So,
reverse in top places with Everton. Imagine that. Everton were on the verge of getting relegated. I don't know if you don't remember that. And now they're like not where we were. But I mean,
West Ham could take that run. They're the ones who let Moyes go.
But you know what I'm saying? With Everton, they're like how many points away from Chelsea? Like they're like 3 points or something.
Yeah, not far.
I'm not far from Chelsea. And Chelsea are going for.
You don't look at that side of the table anymore.
I know we're too concerned and like, oh, what are Leeds doing? What are West Ham doing? Oh, who they play? Oh, I think West Ham play obviously. Is it West Ham play Wolves? and then their next game, I know their last game's against Leeds, isn't it?
Yeah,
And
the
I was
last
watching,
game.
did you not watch the FA Cup? Because that I
Yeah,
thought
yeah.
it was interesting. Because I saw Leeds for me were the better team over I'd say 70 minutes, and then West Ham for me in that extra time they looked the better team. Do you know what I'm saying? And Leeds obviously ended up winning, but I just thought seeing those two teams, I thought at first West Ham were dog shit. I was like, West Ham need to get relegated. We cannot allow West Ham.
But the problem is, it's without Somerville, isn't it?
Yeah, it is without Somerville.
That's the biggest problem. It's a big, massive difference, especially with their forward line. You can tell now without him, it's just not. You know how Nuno's kind of got it together.
Yeah.
It's very reliant on what Somerville can produce, and I think after the Tottenham game, I think Nuno went, I've got my Elanga and what's his name, Hudson-Odoi. That sort of player. That's the one kind of guy, and then they can feed Jared Bowen. They got Jared Bowen on the other side, so he's thinking, okay, and then he's got his two strikers at the moment that are playing well. So I think for West Ham right now, I think without Somerville, I think that's the reason why we're seeing a complete.
They do have Adama, but Adama is not the level.
He's not the level. You can, he's the guy you bring on in the last 10 minutes.
Yeah. He's a powerhouse. He's a rugby player.
So this is why I don't think. I know everyone's talking about West Ham Wolves on Friday being a foregone conclusion. I don't think it is, unless Somerville's back. And after watching them two yesterday, I don't think it's a foregone conclusion.
I don't think that's what I watched it, and I was like, you know what? These two teams, I'm not thinking that they're 100% safe.
So this is where, and obviously we'll get onto us in a little bit, but this is where I think that people are not talking about Leeds enough.
Yeah,
Leeds are not winning games.
I agree.
And that's the team that I think if Spurs and West Ham were to put a few wins together, I think Leeds will be in trouble.
Well, we have Leeds in what game is it? I think the fourth game.
It's at our stadium, so don't worry about that. We lost that. We're drawn. We ain't winning.
Are you convinced?
Yeah,
bro, we're not winning another home game for the rest of the season, man. Got 3 games left, and we ain't winning one of them. It's the away games I'm looking at. Look, I know that obviously De Zerbi's been in.
It's the 5th game. It's the 5th game.
Just before Chelsea, you know. Look, I think for Spurs,
I think we need to win that game personally. I know you're saying it's at home, but I think that's a massive game. I mean, I'll bring it back up. But what games do you think we need to win out of this 7? Innit? We've got Sunderland, Brighton, Wolves, Aston Villa, Chelsea.
All of them. All of them. All of them. So basically, the next 3 games. Spurs.
And you think those are the most important? The first,
I think to get the momentum going, I think if Spurs can win against Sunderland, bring it up again there, please. Sunderland, Brighton, Wolves. Yeah, those are the 3 games that Spurs should be winning, and it's only one at home. So maybe Zerbi can get the first one at home, but those 3 games. The thing is though, like looking at that fixture list. Aston Villa is sliding away. Like you said, Leeds. Chelsea aren't doing great. I know Chelsea will be up for it, but it's not like they're a doggy kind of,
Bro, it's at Stamford Bridge. What are you talking about? Come on.
Still, like, I know, but what I'm trying to say is that if you
Chelsea could be bottom and we still ain't winning there.
You never know. Spurs have beaten Chelsea before at Stamford Bridge. I'm just saying
that was when Conte was their manager. So
yeah, but I'm just thinking that like. The way the Premiership is right now, and that's why if you have a look at Everton and how they're doing, if you look at it, the Premiership hasn't been amazing this season. It's been weird.
Oh, don't tell Arsenal fans that.
It's true. It's been absolutely weird. It's not like who would have thought that Liverpool being in the position that they're in with all the investment. It's been a weird Premiership.
So it's a Liverpool. I know that's a separate conversation, but I expected Liverpool
to be where they are.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think Jota mentally, I don't think people realize how much that hit that squad.
Mm-hmm.
And I think a lot of people, and I think especially like when people go and slot this, slot that, I don't think people realize the impact that would have on the players that were already there. And I think they were just about to go back to training. And then they've brought in these players as well. And then they've got to replace the man that they relied a lot on last year to come on in certain games. And it's been a massive transition for them. And I think, and that's where Arsenal have prospered in all this, because they're the only ones who have settled, and the fact that they've allowed City to technically could end up 3 points behind them in all of this.
And look how bad City is. Well, City hasn't been shining. They've
not been amazing. They've not been amazing.
So it's. Go ahead.
And I was going to say, Marlon, are you saying then that Slot deserves another season? Are you slotting?
I think a lot of people underestimate the situation that Liverpool are in, and I think Liverpool fans, a lot of them.
I don't think he should be sacked. Slot. You think he should stay?
I think he. And it's not because I think you can't judge Liverpool. And when that situation happened, I don't think you could judge Liverpool and exactly what the next 12 months especially with how much money they went and spent. And Frimpong's been injured, and they lost Trent.
That's.
No, I know that. I know they lost Trent. I know they lost Diaz. They never replaced Diaz. And
the last three players. They lost three main players.
Three main players.
Defensive. I get it. But I still like, regardless, 450, bro. Like.
Doesn't matter. The thing is, there's so much to it. There's like, you think when we lost Kyle Walker, how much did we drop? And we only lost one.
So basically, the way I look at Liverpool is the last three players, not including Jalo part of this. There's one player that they lost that Liverpool fans are starting to realize, and that was Nunes. Now, he might not have been scoring, but if you look at the Liverpool club setup, he had Firmino. He wasn't caring about scoring. He would drop deep and occupy defenders. So basically, when Liverpool won the league and they sold Mane, they dropped off. They dropped off for a while, and then they got Diaz in, who was that left or right winger who had the pace to get in behind, and then he had Salah, which made Salah prosper. This season, they haven't had that, and for the first time in Salah's career at Liverpool, he hasn't had Trent Alexander to make him those passes. And so Slot has got to deal with a squad that's gone, right, we've lost the best passer that we've ever had in Trent Alexander, a speedster on the right. We no longer have that, and Salah's easing. I think Salah just signed a contract because it was a big contract. He was never going to fill it out.
But and then next year as well.
Yeah, and then basically
the hunger as well.
Yeah, and the thing is about Liverpool as well, what people forget was that Milner and Henderson has never been really replaced. Even those were hard workers, because what made Liverpool good, they had the Manes but they had these hard working players who pop up.
Yeah.
So it's trying to find that mentality again for next season.
Why are we so we've got a lot of hard workers in our team?
Well, that's the thing. That's the thing.
Football skill.
Yeah, it's a lot different. Like, because when we want hard workers, it's really odd because fans would really like Pierre Højbjerg, who worked hard, but then any player who isn't that, they don't like.
Do you know why we got rid of Højbjerg? That's because when we went to Ange, we were trying to be this possession-based team where technically Højbjerg wasn't seen as the profile, the midfielder that we needed, and Basuma and Bentancur they had the minerals. Obviously, Bentancur got the injury, the ACL, and he hasn't looked the same ever since. Do you know what I mean? He hasn't got the legs. He's not as, I would say, progressive. But some people put that down to the manager, saying, look, Thomas Frank doesn't like to play through the central areas because he sees it as a risk. And that's the reason why it looked like the tactic was get to Kudos, but really it was play on the wings, and it play down the sides because there's less risk, and the fullbacks, and we were meant to be overloading one side basically to kind of pull teams apart and then hit the space in behind as well. That's what Thomas Frank essentially wanted to do. But moving forward into this De Zerbi era, I mean, Højbjerg, De Zerbi got the best out of Højbjerg. So I'm starting to look at Paulinho a little bit different.
I'm starting to look at Paulinho slightly different.
Because did you see the trainer video? I'm just saying. Did you see the trainer video?
Yeah, no, I've said it before. Like I said it, I got comments went against me, and I went, Paulinho and Conor Gallagher are going to start. I'm not saying Archie Gray isn't good enough, but I'm saying for the next 7 games,
Archie Gray will start. Archie Gray will probably definitely start the next couple, because I think if De Zerbi's been watching us like he said he has,
he has.
Archie Gray's going to play. He has to. Even for me, who's not his biggest fan, in the last 3 games or 2 games plus his under 21 game, he has been excellent.
Do you think, looking at what he did at Brighton, and I know it's early to implement this and it might be too soon, but he had Caicedo as a right back. Is there any way Archie Gray goes right back?
Not with Spence and Poirot around.
The thing is with Zerbi, watching the training video, I saw something that I haven't seen in a long time, and that is actually he's the one taking the training. He's the one talking to the players. He's the one, not the assistant. Like Angie would just stand aside, Frank would just stand aside. But that's what these players need. He's right there. He's like, look around, and I think you remember. Don't know how. I think there was another training video where he talks to Solanke.
Look at Dragashin. Look at me. Don't forget me.
Yeah.
Well, I'll be the same. I'll be worried right now. Listen,
look, so he's actually, he's right there.
I think you'll get the best out of Dragashin.
I think he's going to get the
good.
Look,
well, yeah, but go on. We'll get into it.
Yeah, so basically, he turned to Solanke and he said, "Solanke, you're always." Basically, what he's going to do is he's going to like say, "Right,
see, look,
he's right there." What are you going to do? How are you talking? And look at it's the assistants who are standing back watching him.
Well,
That's what the fans are saying.
Obviously, Romero and Porro weren't in this video because they were given extra time to
off,
have recovery or extra leave for whatever reason, isn't it? But like, once Romero comes back, unless Dragushin's in the back three, like where does Dragushin play? Like, I think Romero starts now.
No. Romero and Van der Ven start. I think Danso, obviously, look, at the end of the day,
Romero, Van der Ven, Danso, then Dragushin.
Yeah.
Even though he's getting a lot of airtime on these training videos, I don't really buy too much into it.
No. It's
the
like,
case of don't forget me, boss.
Yeah. So basically, like, Zerbi knows what player. I mean, if he wants his defenders to play at the back, possession base, then Romero can't do that, and I think Van der Ven has a pass in him. And he's not going to give it to Dragoshin or Desanto, who hasn't shown that they can play at the back. The one concern is Vicario, because I don't think Vicario. But then again, he might fire Kingsley up because we know Kingsley can do it.
Because Kingsley's got to play next game.
Yeah, he knows he can do it. So basically,
the funny thing is, though, what we forget is De Zerbi at Brighton. He used to play both Steele and Verbruggen. He used to swap them over. Like Steele better with his short passing, and then Verbruggen was better with his long passing. So depending on the opponent, he would swap them around. But it's interesting because at the moment, Vicario has had the hernia, had the operation, and there's rumour not to make it in time for Sunderland. So it might have to be Kingsley or Austin that starts.
It's going to be Kingsley.
Yeah. So maybe those instructions that we're talking about, those short. Because remember, under Ange, Vicario in that first season, when we were playing out from the back, because that's what we used to do, build up, he wasn't that bad because there was more options. When playing out from the back.
But our heart were in our mouths that season whenever he used to get a ball. Don't forget Ash.
No. I'm just saying. Because of those short passes and it was more players that were in the build-up, he had more options on the ball. Do you understand? I think if he was to play out from the back again this season and he was like, they put him in goal, I think, like, from what I've been seeing and remember, in De Zerbi's build-up, he would have like 8 players in the build-up, like in our own defensive half. So, Vicario would have more than just 2 centre-backs to pass to. You'd have, you know what I'm saying, he'd have a whole back 4, you'd have the midfielders, sometimes the strikers, and the drop in, and so there's
it's still about picking the right pass.
Yeah, of course.
So,
but the more options you have, the easier it is, right?
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
And it's like it's as I said, it's going to be. I think Zerbi's going to play to the team's strength. I don't think he's going to try and change. You know, he's going to this is a philosophy, pass and move. You know, he was saying in the training video, and he was saying I did a drill like it was 2 touches. That's all you have now. You don't have time to do 3 or 4. 2 touches. So, and then he had the base. I think 1. He was counting the touches.
Yeah,
to minimize. So
Romero's back.
But that's the thing. Watching his tactical videos, he wants his defenders to put the foot in the ball, which Romero does on a regular basis, because his philosophy is right. If my 2 defenders put their foot in the ball, it gives you time to get into different positions. I don't want you standing still, so I want you to move into positions, create little diamonds for each other, little triangles for each other. So I think that's what he's going to install. He's got a week to do it. The thing is, I don't think it's too far-fetched from the way Angie played. It's not too far. It might not be as aggressive or as high up, but I think with that pass and move, and hopefully Zerbi goes in and go, right, I'm going to work with the players I have. I'm not going to try and, bring my philosophy in. It's seeing what these players can do, and he's getting a very, very good close-up of it, right in there, seeing how these players can operate. So, yeah, I think it's exactly what the players need, a manager who can pretty much play alongside them and teach them and talk to them as they're going through and give them, because he had a really long chat with Bergville as well. Like I saw in the training video, really long chat with him. So I think going forward,
apparently he's a favourite of his. That's what the word is on the street. But like at Brighton, he used to play every position, like on the, like how you're just saying. He used to be like, even at the goalkeepers, because it's all about body positioning for him. So he would be the goalkeeper at times and say to the goalkeeper, what you do is you fake like you're going to pass this way. So you open your hip this way, but then you pass in the opposite direction, and you teach the centre-backs similar things. Almost get the centre-backs on a half turn, look like they want to spray it to the fullback, and then the fullback will come in, the player will follow them, and then that opens up a passing lane or a space, because the last minute, one of the strikers or midfielders drop off, and then they hit a ball into the whoever's up top, and then that's how we beat presses. Do you know what I'm saying? So it's not even like, and he would be in the session like as a centre back, telling them, positioning them, moving him around, say, look, this is what you do, like, and then telling the players, it's all about timing. That's what we were saying. It's all about timing. It's all about timing. It's all about timing. So he wants a centre forward apparently that has a bit more of a brain, like he's, that can think. So I think Richarlison, I think his days maybe maybe numbered, isn't it? I don't know.
There was a video of Maddison and Richarlison, and I think it was another player taking shots. And my word, Richarlison just, like, Maddison was just, I don't know. It was like one of the comments was like, you should be Richard. If I was Richarlison, I'd be embarrassed that a player who has come back from an ACL injury seems more keen and more interested. Like Richarlison didn't score; it was team shots. It's like, nah, I give up. But yeah, I think he knows deep down that his days might be definitely numbered, because Solanke has more brain and uses his brain. But you never know what could happen. I think, yeah,
the problem is that Richarlison put it in the back of the net, and Solanke won't at the moment.
Well, that's the thing. Solanke hasn't got the open opportunities as Richarlison has. Like, when was the last? I mean, look at the goal. Like the goal Solanke scored against Man City with the back heel.
Yeah,
when he's in the right place at the right time. But I think Tudor was like, right, you drop deep, because I can't rely on Richarlison getting the ball and spreading passes or doing anything. Yeah. So you have to sacrifice yourself for that.
Sacrifice it, which happened a lot under Ange, but we create a lot more. So Solanke would be in the box. But it'd be interesting to see what De Zerbi does with both of them.
Yeah, and he was talking to Till as well.
Look at the profile of Welbeck and look at the profile of João Palhinha. It's closer to what Solanke is than to what Richarlison is, if that makes sense. Richarlison is more a poacher, and then sometimes he can play off the left as well. So he could be like an inside forward. Whereas Solanke's like the kind of false 9/10. He drops into that pocket, first time passes. So that thing we're talking about in intelligence, then he kind of sits the profile a little bit more. But what did you lot think about Romero? Obviously, the release clause was put out there, innit? And apparently his dad was the one talking about the release clause between...
What's it with both our defenders and their dads, man?
I think the dads are just... I think the media just look for any family member who's willing to just talk and just create nonsense. Like, I've asked your dad's going to say this something, and like, you're just like, just shut the fuck up, just be quiet. You know what I mean? But like, yeah, it's a thing. It's bizarre. I think, like, I never heard what the dad said, but whatever he said, it must be just silliness. It's just another.
Do you think then, as a manager, obviously De Zerbi would have met Romero today? I think their break would have been finished. I think they had a 2-day break because he come on Friday. Fans weren't happy, like, oh, Romero should have come back early. It is with the narrative, Romero, But obviously he came back today. We don't know. We haven't seen no pictures or videos or any updates. But is there like a question where you say De Zerbi looks at Romero and thinks, is he up for the fight? Or
De Zerbi will use Romero.
Yeah.
He knows he's up for the fight. He has to. Like, I know a lot of fans are 50, but without Romero, we're screwed. We go into the last 7 games without Romero. De Zerbi's will not be stupid enough. He needs to keep him on side for these 7 games.
If he sees a game like Nottingham Forest and he sees him jogging back, do you know what I'm trying to say?
Yeah, but he's not the only one.
That's the point. We always look at, and I've been saying it as well. Romero and Van de Ven has had to make decisions for the players who aren't making decisions. If you don't trust the players around you, you're gonna. We've all played football when we don't trust the players. It's like as a goalkeeper.
Hold on, but you lot said something earlier which you have to take now into consideration if this is true. You said that they all heard about Tudor at half time, so that explains why they're jogging in the second half.
Yeah, that
explains exactly where mentally they've all gone. So we can all sit there and go. But if it's true that at half time they'd heard about,
I think it did. Yeah,
and that was the second half performance we got. It now explains more than anything because the first half we wasn't that bad.
Mm-hmm.
Like no matter what people want to play,
first half and second half. But I honestly think the goal. Me personally, I hear what you lot are saying, but I think that goal going in before the first half, that kind of rattled them. And then the second half, it's like when Spurs go down, it's like, who's the leader? Where's the mentality? Who's our fighters? Like, there's not many times this season when we've come back, especially 2026, when we come back from 1-0 down.
It's usually Romero that's the fighter. If you look at most
of the games, you're right. Remember that Newcastle game? And
it's not just been like, but even Burnley, like
Newcastle.
Yeah, and it's when you kind of look at Romero's probably been the fighter mostly out of all of them. And then again, if De Zerbi has been doing, and unfortunately, if De Zerbi's been doing his research or not, Romero has to play.
Is there a world though that some of these players have got their eye on the World Cup and they're thinking, "Let me save myself"?
Of course,
everyone's got.
We're not going to see Kulu again. That's it now for Kulu. That World Cup now, he's going.
He thinks he's going to make it back. I agree, man. I don't think
Kulu's not coming back. You think who else is there? Richarlison might be another one who might now be looking at the World Cup because he's trying to get into that Brazil team.
Well, he said about the whole political thing. He did the whole Trump thing, saying, "Look,
no, that was fake."
Oh, that fake?
Yeah, he come out and said it was fake.
Okay.
That's the thing about social media. It just
came out.
Trying to knock, because you know the reason why I thought that might be a thing is because it looked like he wasn't going to make it to the World Cup. So
no. It was. He came out a couple of days later and said it was fake.
All right, cool.
But yeah, you think about it, and then like most of these players will be looking. Like Pedro Porro will be another one who'll be looking over his shoulder. Jed Spence is another one. He's got to play himself into this squad.
That's the thing, though. If they're looking, if their heads are towards the World Cup, then they should be putting in their best performance.
Yeah, because they need to go in that World Cup on form. They can't be sitting there going off because it's never worked for anybody.
No, I hear that, but I mean, like some players might think I don't want to get injured. That's what.
No, but that's you can't think like that because if they play poor form, they're not going to get in the World Cup anyway.
No, I mean like Romero's definitely going, Van der Ven's definitely going. I'm talking about maybe.
Yeah, but they're I think, but would their image as players, you know, again, they're getting out. It's interesting because I've said this before that it's always when Spurs are in trouble, it's always the best players that get slated. Whether it was Harry Kane, whether it's Song, Spurs fans just turn their best players, and then they will praise a player like Tell or Lucas Moura who just does nothing but run, makes an odd good cross, and that's it. And then they ask why.
Over Champions League,
yeah, but still, that wasn't him on his own. that was I think it was Dele Alli who set up the first 2 goals, and he's lived. And Lucas Moura milked that for the next 2 years. He just milked that. Like he didn't do much. The thing is, it's like
scored the first hat trick at the stadium.
No. It's just no. It was good for what he did, but it was just like, yeah, okay. No, I didn't. It was good, but yeah, I never rated Lucas Moura. But I get why fans like him because he would gun on the pitch and he'd run head down and into goal sack. So it's
he's kind of maverick, isn't it? That's what it was.
Yeah, it's kind of like
and like unexpected. Like he's so inconsistent, but when he scored goals, they were all bangers. Like you beat 3 players and score a goal, and you're like, wow, where does that come from? And sometimes you have a lot of moments, but I think fans look like players that have ability and that can create moments and get them off their seat. And I think Moura was one of those guys. Just unfortunately, like you said, he just wasn't consistent enough. But I'm looking at Kudos, right? Do you not think he might not make it to the Sunderland game because he wasn't in the training videos at all? Apparently, he's been doing individual work.
Yeah, didn't they say he had a setback just before the break? Someone said that he had a setback. I don't know who. I thought there was rumours that he had a setback.
I thought it was Bentancur had a setback, but maybe
No, I
it's
thought it was Kudus. I thought it was Kudus, and they said he
Okay.
probably won't be back for Sunderland. They'll be back for Brighton.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I would predict to Brighton as well. In my head, I thought Brighton.
But even if he does come back, like he's going to need a couple of games to get back up to fitness.
Yeah, but we need him so badly.
Yeah,
This is the problem now with Kudus, I think, and me included, because of where he wasn't producing that final ball and he was holding on the ball for too long and whatnot, you don't realise how much we actually missed him until he got injured.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that is so key now that we need him back, because our results definitely dipped even more when he got injured.
They lost that flair. I think he was overplayed too much. When he got injured, I thought, I think it was a couple of games before where he kind of like felt his thigh, and I thought Frank needs to just bench him. Just even play Brendan Johnson, give him a rest. And he kept on playing because it wasn't like Kudus was playing and only getting the ball. He was getting the ball all the time, and it was bouncing off players and everything. It was only a matter of time before he got injured. And when he got injured, it was a long injury. I think that was the issue with a lot of players as well. Like, because you're overplayed, they get injured, and then they get injured for a long time.
Yeah.
It's body management now as well.
Do you think we're going to run into the same kind of situations that we have over the last 2 seasons in terms of injuries? Do you think they're going to go down slightly? Do you think like De Zerbi's going to beef up the squad as well because of that? I know we've got 1 game a week, and so that should obviously help us. But
that's the thing. I don't think
Ash. I can't say that because box office will be on my case. When you say beef up the squad, I can't say that.
That's the thing. I've said it before. I think that Enoch has to beef up the squad. They have to. There is no, it's only 1 game a week. They have to. Zerbi would not have signed that contract. I know he came out and said, I'll be with Spurs no matter what. But I don't think he would have signed that contract if he hadn't said, right, I'll keep you guys up, but next season you've got to get me in players. And it wouldn't be surprised me if they go for Matoma.
So let's look at going by that beef up the squad comment. You go to the season and was not in Europe, and we had so many players.
Yeah, we did have a lot of players. Yeah,
we still finished 5th. I know people talk about his record after the 10 games and whatnot, but if you take the I think it was like 4 segments of the season. So the first 10 games obviously great. The second 10 games were so mixed because of the injuries and whatnot. But then there's that period in the middle just before the end of the season, before Newcastle, where people don't look at that record. And it was actually done. It was actually I need to find it, but it was Ange did well. We actually didn't lose that many games. But
before we had that run in, you mean before we had that
end of running where we completely lost every game apart from the 2 promoted sides. But there's a period just before that in the middle where Ange did okay, and that's what got us 5th. And people do want to forget that because they want to go, Ange.
It's not talking about enough, but you just do wonder if we never had that.
But this goes back. But that goes back to the beefing up the squad because of the injuries and whatnot we had.
No, you're right.
It goes back, and then we ended up selling most of them players like Højbjerg and stuff, and we were in the Champions League. You're like, you bought Archie Gray, you bought in Bergvall and all that, and then you kind of gone, hold on,
too young. He went too one way, too extreme.
Too extreme the other way. So look, they need to make sure that it's a full enough squad for De Zerbi next year.
You know what? Going back to what Oren said about Matoma, do you think that Matoma, as a winger, and the reason why I bring him up is because wingers are different to like midfielders and centre backs. You can have like a midfielder or a centre back that's maybe slightly senior, but when it comes to wingers, we saw what happened with Son. Son was obviously how old was Son when he left? 32 was he? 33? Yeah. And he declined really quickly. Like, do you think there's a risk if we were to get Matoma that could happen to him also?
Well, Matoma,
he's not been
injured quite a lot last season, wasn't he? The last couple of seasons, he's been injured quite a bit.
He's been injured quite a bit. That's the problem. He's never hit the
I don't think he's ever completed a complete season.
No, especially since De Zerbi left.
If we're gonna buy a Matoma, that's aging. Like,
but it might be buying Matoma, but you also have what do you call that? The other Korean kid, that Spurs boy.
Oh,
he's
Hyuk.
Hyuk. So they might buy Matoma and then keep Hyuk, and then have, because it's only 1 game a week, like we rightly say, then have Matoma and then have
the fans are going to push back and say Mikey Moore. because Mikey Moore just dropped a documentary.
Yeah, but Mikey Moore can play. Mikey Moore is on the right. Mikey Moore is on the right.
No, Mikey Moore's left or 10.
Left or 10, yeah.
Or he could play. But
so Matoma actually, just going back, sorry. Matoma actually played 36 games last year in the Premier League. So he played 19 years. So
how many goals last season?
So it's 30, these are Premier League only, yes. The Premier League only. 33. This is his first season. 33, 7 goals.
Yeah.
The injury hit season was 19 and 3. Last year was 36 and 10.
So he can finish a good season.
He can, yeah. So he had a good season last year.
Yeah. So I think Matoma is perfect for what Zerbi wants. He's already played underneath.
But he's not only 19 and 2 this year, which is not the same as where he was the year before. So he seems to be up and down like a yo-yo.
And what injuries were they as well? Were they hamstring? Was it muscle? Do you know? Does it say what injuries they were?
Give me a second.
You can find out. Sorry, go on, Oren. I cut you off. Go on.
Yeah, no, it's all right. It's I think like the injury. What we're seeing with injuries, not just with Spurs. I think what players now have to do is take on their own nutritionist, their own personal. So basically, it's like, yeah, I think what going forward, I think the club can only do so much. So yeah, I think like if that has to be installed at some point in every club, that right, get your own nutritionist in, get your own fitness, your personal trainer in, because you have to keep your body. We can only look after a certain amount of players. So I think, like, I remember I've always come back to this. I remember Harry Kane used to always get injured during like a season where he ankle or something. Then he went 2 seasons, and even now he doesn't really get injured. And Messi and Ronaldo, all the top players have their personal. Like Xavi has his personal nutritionist as well, personal fitness expert, which his body's adapting and becoming.
Do you think Basuma has his own chef? Basuma has his own chef.
Basuma, I don't know. Basuma not even training. Basuma doesn't want to be there. He's mentally switched off from football altogether.
The way I don't know what's going on. I think they're just trying to push him out the club.
Of course, like
I don't think he's injured. I think he's actually available. But the Zerbi's come in. Yeah, Basuma. The Zerbi's
he's got a muscle injury apparently. But it's his mindset. It's his attitude. He doesn't care. Basuma doesn't want to be at the club. He doesn't care anymore.
Yeah, he kind of thought he made it when he came to Spurs, and that was probably the wrong decision at the time. Was obviously making money.
I know
he's won his trophy, so he's good.
And he was excellent in that trophy round. I just can't believe we didn't get that Basuma throughout his Spurs career.
Do you think De Zerbi should look at him or not? You should just leave him at the wayside.
I don't think he needs him. If he's going to bring Paulinho back in, what does he do with Basuma? Because, like you said, you think he's going to play Gallagher. So you got Gray, Gallagher. Sar's now obviously injured. Bergval's on his way back. There's 7 games left. None of the fans want to see Basuma.
The way he's put his arm around Bergval, does anyone think that he's got a different role for him? Or do you think he will play in the 8 role? Like, where do you think he will put him in the midfield?
God knows. I have no idea, because Bergval is just one of them players you can adjust to any position. Not that I say he'll play well, but he's been put everywhere.
Then that arm around his shoulder is basically saying to him, right, you've got the talent, just calm yourself down. Yeah. Just calm, keep things calm. Don't overthink things. Don't be running around like a headless chicken.
2 touches.
Yeah, 2 touches. Keep calm. Know your surroundings, and that's it. Because Bergville has all the qualities of being a great player, but what he does is he does end up running around. He doesn't know what he has to do. He's going to try things when he's not meant to, because he's trying to do something. So it's basic, yeah. And it's like the same with Tell. I think you might tell just to like calm things down. Don't try and do everything. And he'll be able to tell this in Italian as well.
Yeah, I mean,
or French. Or
I don't want to read too much into that training video, obviously. But obviously, yeah, you're right. Tell was.
It's got us all hooked now, isn't it?
That's how weird it is, because for the first time we've seen a manager actually kicking the ball and talking to the players.
Well, that's the thing. A lot of ex-players are saying. They're saying like his passion and the way he would get on the pitch makes a difference, because he's got so much detail and knowledge to give to the players and information. Yeah. Even like he's talking about when you pass the ball, the speed of which you pass the ball will tell the next player what to do with it. It's like a piece of information that you're giving to someone. Yeah. If you put it in slow, then it tells me you've got more time. But if you're punching it with speed, then that means that, okay. And he said you have to adapt to the opponent. So every opponent, you have to adapt to what your surroundings are. It's never the same thing. It's like if we go man-to-man, he talks about man-to-man. This is why you need to do 2 touch, you know? If it's 5 of us and it's 2, you'll never lose the ball. That's what he was saying. Sorry about that accent. But yeah, basically that's what he was he was, and I got it straight away. I was like, yeah, that makes sense. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, that's the thing. It's like what Frank went in and did, and what Tudor went in and did was like, we're going to complicate shit, and the player's like, huh? What he's gone and done is gone on a growing level and says, right, if A happens, then B and C is going to happen. So this is what you have to do. And even talk, and he will he's almost like the man manager, because we were talking in the last video how, you know, Zerbi wasn't a man manager, and I'm like, from listening to ex-Brighton players that all say he's a man manager. He changed their lives.
Because this is the thing that's really bugged me, actually, because a lot of people come and go, you need to get a manager who's going to put his arm around the players. But all you've heard from Marseille players and all you've heard from Brighton players is exactly that's what he does.
And Dunk says it. Dunk said he made him feel like a million.
And the one thing that made me question...
the England squad, didn't he?
Yeah. The one thing that made me question this, he doesn't put his arms around the players, was like, he got
That's the first thing you've seen him with Bergvall.
Yeah, no, it's not even that. It's like he got in Mason Greenwood. Mason Greenwood, who was kicked out of England.
So what happened?
Yeah, no, he got rid of Mason Greenwood, or picked up Mason Greenwood, and a manager could go to the board and say, I don't want that player. But he said it. He came out and said, he's had his time. He's been through it. I mean, he's got kicked out of the country that he lived in, slated through his name. He gave him another chance. And I know Sky Sports picked up on that. They picked up on it, and I don't know if you guys are going to cover it, but maybe you are now. But then he had to come out and say, I'm sorry that I made those errors or whatever. And I'm like, no, that shows that he's willing. He's not looking at what Mason Greenwood did outside of personal. It's
but it wasn't the football part, was it? It was his comments that were more the issue.
Yeah, that's what I mean. He says he's done his time. Which is true.
There was more the comments, and I think that needed to be addressed in the sense of, because it was worded poorly at the time, but it was obviously not worded in English either, or Italian.
That's the thing, yeah.
So, and that's why and to be fair to Spurs and to be fair to De Zerbi, you've got to give, and you've got to give them credit for not shying away from it, and literally in this first interview, you've got to go, hold on. He's held his hands up and gone, look. And he said, look, I have a daughter. He said, I want to answer it in Italian.
A lot of people ain't buying that, though. They're like, it's even worse that you've got a daughter and you're coming out with that. So he can't win either way.
Yeah,
he's never going to win either way. But the fact that the club, look, if this was, and I'm going to say this, if this was under old regime, that won't being addressed.
I think before he came, they would have said to him, look, they would have spoken to him about it and said, listen, it's the first thing we're going to do.
Because it's Spurs fan groups,
it's just over that. But I think those fans who are using that are the same fans who want Pochbach. It's the one thing they can go against is RBL. Oh, he did this, but they want Pochbach.
It was like women's. What was it? The women's group.
Who was it? It was the women's group. The women's group at Spurs.
Yeah,
there was also the Trust. Was it the Trust?
Yeah, Trust.
Well. And there was one more.
There's LGQ. Yeah. So those are like the three main groups that kicked out. A lot of what's it called? A lot of YouTubers and influencers.
But of course, YouTubers and influencers, they pick up. If Zerbi was to see him taking a shit, they'd milk it. You know what I mean? They feed off crap. They really, and they'll just jump on the bandwagon and say did this. I get why they get upset, but I'm like, right. First of all, he was managing a completely different club, and we haven't signed Mason Greenwood. We've signed Zerbi. You know, it's not the player we've bought. It's Zerbi, and he's come in as a manager to help keep Spurs up. So that, like, if you're gonna use something against him, you know, it's going against the whole narrative of, like, we should back the manager. Oh, we won't because he said this. No, it's just patheticness.
But the one thing that I read up, and I didn't even realize this. So when he was at Shakhtar Donetsk, and this is where it comes back into the whole man management thing, I didn't realize that he made sure that all the overseas players. So the war started.
Yeah.
He made sure every single
Ukraine man.
So he made sure all the family, and this was it. They mentioned this. It was the players and their families. So if the player had gone, but the family still. He made sure every single one of them had left the country before he left, and he could have left before it apparently. So, like, it's things like that where you go, actually, is this if he's gonna put his arm around these players already, and this is the Spurs players here that are fragile. then maybe he's the guy that's going to take us forward at this present moment. This may be the guy that we're talking about.
Remember when Frank came in? I have to remind us, like, obviously the narrative was with Ange. You know, he didn't bring his coaches, so the players weren't being coached.
Yep.
And when Thomas Frank came in, he came in with a bag of stuff. Like, do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Do you remember though when he came in and we questioned two things? Yeah, there was two things we questioned at the time, and they were: one, why didn't Mbeumo want to join him? And none of the players, his ex-players, ever came out and said one-on-one, he done the one-on-one time with them. They said a lot of them said he usually went to the coach and stuff. It wasn't with Frank. So, and you were like, hold on, they're going to go from Ange to a manager that's cold.
Wasn't there the like Tony was saying something about him getting? Was it like a personal thing? Like him and Wisa were saying, like they improved as like not human beings. That's not mad, isn't it? But it was that type of narrative. Like they really liked him as a human being, and they kind of appreciated.
Frank struck me as a guy who's very nice.
Yes,
very nice. Yeah. But sometimes what the players need is a manager who isn't going to shout at them, who isn't going to complicate them. Like a Zerbi, he's a manager, and he's not nice. He's not like, "Hi, how are you doing? So I would like you to do this." It's, "Hi, how are you doing? So this is what you're going to do." It's what's the word?
Assertive.
Yeah, it's assertive. It's this. Whereas Frank, even I think there was a clip that came out in the friendly games when Frank was trying to motivate the players, and even then it was like a PE teacher. Right, come on, guys, this is what you're going to do, okay? And you're like, yeah. The players are just like looking at him, going, yeah. You're like a PE teacher. Whereas when you have Zerbi, and even Angie, who would like give a philosophical speech, you know, he would have the players ready to go.
Yes, their minds, believing.
And that's what Zerbi is all about. I think he's about getting the players' minds, understanding what the players can do, how to improve them, and it shows because, like I said in the first, I'm not like going, oh, it's great. It was just refreshing to see a manager actually talking to the players. Yeah. No, yeah. I mean, even Potts towards the end, I think Potts started with kicking the ball about with the players and talking to them. Then that faded after a while.
So, is there any concern with the negative elements that come with De Zerbi in the next couple of weeks? Because obviously, everyone says he falls out with players.
Long term. I think most of them are long term. I don't
falls out with a board. Falls out with a board. But if you think about the players we've got right now, they're fragile. And as you said, this two touch. Yeah, was the message that came out in this training video. There are going to be some players that won't be able to even do those instructions.
That's fine because then it's bye.
But he can't say bye to them now. He's got 7 games to save.
No, I'm not saying like.
So what does he do over these next? My question is because
a Premier League player can't do two touch. Huh?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's like.
I'm just saying.
No, you're right.
Paulinho won't be able to do two touch. We'll be honest. He won't be able to.
I would say he's not press resistant. He can't get on a half turn and
but
carry the ball and dribble.
But that's the thing.
To control a ball and then pass it, and especially when the players are slightly.
Sar's another one. Sar's another one who can't do it.
Sar's injured, isn't it?
I know he's injured, but
he's got a shoulder problem, so that kind of shows that.
Very convenient. The thing is, though, like you were saying, though, Ash, that when I looked at Pelini and these players, I think they can do it. It's just not having the bravery enough to do it or having the players to pass to. Because often when Pelini picked the ball, the players would just hide. So what Zerbi is going to probably install is, right, you have to support the man. You know, you have to be able to. Because, like you were saying, I think Pelini can do that touch. But if he needs someone to pass to. And if they know it's what's in the Brighton breakdown tactics, it's like each player needs to know where to be. So if Pauline is going to get the ball, I need to be in this position for my teammate. I need to be here for my teammate. It's not a case of I'm just going to watch you. I'm just going to stand my ground. So I think you'll see a lot of passing movement. As for the long term, that's what I'm saying. Like Spurs has a manager in who know they're falling with the board, but why a manager falls with the board is because the board is either selling players they don't want to or not bringing in players they want to. So again, ENIC has to do that thing and go, we're going to bring you the players that you want. They have to.
Do you think, short term, we actually do play more of the Zerbi ball next 7 games, or do you think we just completely leave that alone? Like, and when I say the Zerbi ball, I mean playing out from the back. Do you think he completely abandons that and goes long and just tries to pump it long, and then when we're in that kind of attacking third, we try to win the ball back and then we play it short? Or do you think we play it short through the defensive third, the mid third, and the
So the problem you've got, and I don't know if it's a problem, is that Kingsley can play these balls. Kingsley's a passer. He's better on the ball than what Vicario is. It's going to be when Vicario comes back, will he be able to play them passes? Because me and Oren ain't believing what you're saying. Where you think his decision making is better than you're saying. So I'm relying on you here because I don't think Vicario can do what you're asking.
And
I think he can.
I don't think Vicario is going to be there next year either. Sorry.
No, I don't think it'll be here. I'm talking about in the short term. I'm saying like Kingsley will come in, and obviously he's on the ball.
He's going to make mistakes as well because he's going to think he's going to have too much time.
Yeah, he might be the same, but I think, and remember what I said. I seen him go into the goalkeeper positions and do the goalkeeping thing where he's like letting the goalkeeper know, look, 1 touch, 2 touch, 1 touch. It's like not just the fullback, centre back, midfielder. It's also the goalkeeper. He's trying to coach.
And if Kingsley can look, basically, if Kingsley can do the 1 and 2 and he's gone, Kingsley will be the one that plays for the rest of the season. Because he's the one out of the 3 of the goalkeepers, he's the best distributor of the ball. The problem is with Kingsley, and as we've seen in games this season and last, he thinks he wants too many touches, and he thinks he's got that time in the Premier League, which is no fault of his own because his coaches have got to tell him this and have got to kind of give it to him. But if you go back to his first game against Liverpool, which everyone said he played well in, do you remember 1-2 out, 1-2 out, 1-2 out? We've never seen that since.
Yeah,
because Spurs haven't had players who are wanting the ball. They're not showing themselves. Just
what I remember, Vicario's clip balls were a bit of an issue where he would try to clip it to the fullback and it ends up going off the pitch. Do you know what I'm saying? Yeah. The ones on the floor when he's passing it, down the middle, it's hit and miss. If he tries to fire it down the middle, on the floor, it's hit and miss. But the short ones to the centre backs, to like a Mickey Van der Ven, to Romero,
I could play the ones to centre backs, man, and the short ones.
Yeah, but that's what
the thing is.
All of us, I think all of us,
on the back. That's what he needs to do. Then it's down to the back.
The thing is with I've said it before as well. Kevin De Bruyne is probably one of the best passers of the ball the Premiership has ever seen. But the reason why his pass and his assistance was so good, even Trent Alexander, even David Beckham, players are running. If you make a pass and players, even Stevie G, Lampard, you can go through them.
Henderson,
yep, even Henderson.
I know a lot of people didn't like Henderson.
Henderson was. But my point is that if Henderson makes a pass, he expected Manny to be on his way. Salah on his way. Players have to be able to work for your teammate. It doesn't matter how good a passer of the ball you are. If you don't have players running for that pass or even trying to anticipate that pass, it's pointless. And that's the thing. I think that's what Zerbi is going to get out of the players right. You guys, as soon as you get the ball, I don't want you to just stand there and go, okay, I want you to make space, move.
Yeah, move
3, 4.
I agree with that.
So that's what he's going to install. And that's all that's needed.
Yeah.
Pass and move.
I think what it is, obviously a lot of teams started to cotton on how De Zerbi was playing when he was at Brighton, and so they started to stand off him. Do you understand? They started to stand off him. They knew that they wanted to bait the press, or Dunk would put his foot on the ball, and they said, all right, we know that they want us to come, so we're not going to do that. We're going to do what like Ten Hag did to Man City with the 4-4-2 mid-block when the diamonds, and they didn't press the centre-backs. They kind of just dropped off, and when it went into the midfield, that's when they pressed. Do you know what I mean? So when that happened, De Zerbi realised, okay, I'm going to have to find a different way to build up, or a different way to find and break down these mid to low blocks. Do you know what I'm saying? So that's what I do like. But as I said, because we've got so much limited time, are we going to be able to? Yeah. Do you know what I mean? And he did say, like, you know what? I've just come here to kind of gather. I know the job. I'm going to have to adapt. He said that straight off the back. I'm not going to be able to install that within the next 6 weeks, how to play the Zerbi ball. So I do see that the whole worry of Kinski and Vicario playing out from the back. I think at times they will do it, but at times they will just go direct. They'll go long.
Yeah, of course.
It's Premier League football, isn't it?
It's having the option to do that. And in truth, when it was Brighton did do that sometimes. They did go direct, but that's why they had Welbeck, because Welbeck was good at making run into the channels or hold the ball up. Or they had Matoma. It's either if it goes to, say, a centre back who can fire the ball over the top of the Matoma. Even the keeper. I think there was a goal. I don't know if there was a goal kick from the keeper. Matoma brought it down with one touch, ran on and scored. Again, I'm not saying Spurs have that caliber of player, but I'm saying, yes, I think the most important thing is right, I want you to do this, but you have to use your initiative as well. In some cases, if you don't feel that this pass is good or you can't make the pass, hit the ball long, set up and regroup, that kind of way. Or hit the ball long and make sure you're around Solanke, make sure you're around to press high up the pitch to win the ball back as well.
I think you make a good point, though. I think everyone's right in some sense, because not every player is going to be able to do what he asks, and that's where the issues will come in. Do you know what I mean? I do agree with you. There will be more players running off the ball because the Zerbi will be on the sidelines jumping up and down like a maniac. Do you know what I'm saying? Trying to improve them. But at the same, I think it's going to be interesting to see how it plays out. Obviously, Sunderland, they play a 4-2-3-1, similar to most teams. But they defensively, they don't press man. They do man to man, but they time it, so they've got a trigger. So they will look at a player, for example, if they think whoever's playing our left back, if they think that's the weakness, when the ball goes into him, they might start the press there, or they might ignore a whole back four, wait for it to get into the midfield, and then press, or wait for it to go long, go into one of our strikers, and then win the second balls that way. Do you know what I'm saying? To kind of, that's how these Premier League teams are playing right now.
Yeah, because because what you're talking about, Sunderland, if they play 4-1-4-1, basically.
They do play 4-1-4-1 as well. Yeah, right.
So Xhaka sits in front of that defense.
Controller.
And then the four of them probably are the ones that, like you said, so the defense don't need to come forward from the looks of it at all. That makes absolutely perfect sense. It's just the way our Spurs going to be able to do anything with that.
I think the most important player in this is going to be Xavi. I think Zerbi's going to play him as a number 10. He's not going to play him
that there's been no videos around him, though, as well. There hasn't been. I don't know if it's a secret weapon, it's intentional, am I reading too much into it? But it's all been about Bergvall and Tell at the moment are the two players. Archie Gray we've seen glimpses of. I've seen Archie Gray, but I haven't really seen anything of Xavi.
I don't think he'll play Xavi. I think Xavi will get the same treatment as he did under Tudor.
Why is that, though? Why do you think that is?
I don't think.
You remember him after Fulham? You were there.
Yeah. Again, though, I think.
He was playing on the left, though, not at Fulham.
Yeah, I think the thing is Xavi. I've said it with Xavi, Van de Ven, and Romero. I think Xavi is a good player. And I think he has that winner mentality. And when you're with players who aren't, again with Xavi, he's playing in a team that is devoid of confidence, and it's the same as Kudus. Kudus was hold on to the ball, or because he didn't trust his teammates. So I think if Zerbi goes, right, when he gets the ball, this is what you have to do. That might help Xavi, because Xavi likes runners. He likes people running past him. So when he doesn't have it, he thinks, right, I need to carry the ball. I need to do something.
With Xavi, he's one of them. If you're playing poorly, he won't stand out. Let's take Kudus. Kudus, we were playing poorly, but Kudus stood out. He's a very good player. Simmons needs good players around him. Otherwise, he's poor. And I think that's all it is.
Because remember, the last game he shone was the Atletico Madrid game, and everyone was baffled when he was dropped. And he did the 1-2-1-2 with Archie Gray. Remember, it came into Sarr. Sarr gave it back to him. Then it's a 1-2-1-2, and then bang, outside the box, boom, top bins, Archie Gray, and everyone's like, right, he banged 2 goals because he got the penalty after that. And then you're like, right, okay, Xavi has arrived. But then, he was dropped. And then at that Fulham game, like I said, he was playing off the left, and then Gallagher was playing off the right. Do you know what I'm saying?
It's the European. It's obviously Xavi Simmons has shown he's better form in Europe for us than he has done in the Premier League. He seems to be really struggling when he comes to a Premier League game. When he has started and when he's not started. Like when he comes on, he's not showing anything. When he's been starting, he's not showing anything. Where in the European games, like even against Dortmund, he was great. I remember he was great against Dortmund, and against Frankfurt, he was also looking good. But so's Kolo Muani's looked better in Europe than he has in
Yeah, that's true. I'm just trying to think. Maybe under Brighton, De Zerbi, he had Lallana as a number 10. And I'm trying to compare the two profiles, and he would make Lallana sometimes drop in into like right midfield. He'd start as number 10, but he would drop in and help with the build up. So that's why he would be in that kind of right midfield position, or he would drop into the, like almost like a in between a 6 and I don't know fullback, that kind of zone, and then help progress the ball. Maybe he platforms Xavi a little bit different and helps him to kind of in that midfield three almost. He's not always stuck as the 10, or he's not like just an attacking player. He drops in and he helps with the overall play. And then maybe sometimes the more touches you get and the more involved you get, the more you grow into the game, the bigger you get. Maybe De Zerbi's going to work with him like that, and that's how he gets the best out of him. But yeah, no, it's interesting because I even remember it wasn't just Lallana he had. He also had Enciso. Do you guys remember him, Enciso?
No.
For Brighton.
Yeah.
Short kind of guy, yeah?
Yeah.
But he used to be like quick, nimble, low center of gravity. He would shoot outside the box.
Mhm.
And I'm thinking that's a similar profile to what Xavi is. So maybe he can work with a player like that kind of plays in between the midfield line and the defensive line. He picks up the ball and then he's able to attack and link play with like a Dominic Solanke. I don't know. That's my understanding. But it's crazy. Obviously, he hasn't had the best of seasons. Premier League, he has struggled, in my opinion. He's got one goal in the Premier League and 4 assists.
Which, if you think about it, that's still relatively good for, like, as I said, Xavi hasn't came in to a squad that's been flourishing. I mean, even with, like, every time he was building up a rapport with the Destiny Udogie. Destiny Udogie gets injured. Okay, he builds a rapport with Kudus. Kudus gets injured. So I think that, like, especially next season with the full thing and him, being around these players, players also have to know what he's capable of as well. So, beforehand, when he gets the ball, players need to go, right, I know that if I make a run, he's more likely going to find me, or he's going to do something, or I'm going to support him. And I think that's why in the games, in the European games, it worked because the players played with less pressure. So they were making runs for him, which gave him space. And when he has played, when he gets central, he tries to make those dribbling runs. He has no players to really pass to or to lay it off. Whereas as a player, you should be going, right, I know if Xavi gets the ball, he's going to try and dribble or he's going to make a pass. So I'm going to try and give him that space, which Zerbi's going to do. It's all about passing. Like I said, I keep saying, like, moving for your teammates. Yeah,
1-2s, like running off the ball. Yeah. There's one thing you did say, and I don't know if you lot picked up of it in a training session. He speaks about enjoy the ball, enjoy the game. That's what he says.
Yeah.
So when he's saying enjoy the ball, enjoy the game, he's like, that pressure element you were speaking about, that could be a thing where he's seen the games, because he said he went back and he watched a few games. He's been watching Tottenham. Yeah. And is it a case of where he's seeing them put too much pressure on themselves and therefore they're not enjoying themselves out there, and then they're making mistakes and then their heads are dropping because you make a mistake and then you overthink it and you live there, innit? Sometimes you make a mistake, get the ball again and do something else. Be positive. Do you know what I'm saying? Don't just be reactive, be proactive and keep going for that. That's the one thing about Archie Gray. Archie Gray would make mistakes, yes. But the reason why so many fans liked him is because he was energetic, he was everywhere, he kept driving with the ball, he kept trying to make things happen. So I think he's looking at that and he's thinking, yeah, you know what? I just need to talk to some of these players, and that's where we probably see that clip again. I don't know, I'll say it again, but that arm around Bergvall, that's the one thing that's standing out in a lot of people's minds at the moment. Do you know what I mean? So it's interesting to see what happens.
He's had some interesting lineups as well. I'm just looking at some of the lineups that he had.
Can you bring them up?
1 second.
Yeah, because I mean, he's had a career where he was at was it Palmero was his first team at Serie A, and that was his first big job. Oh, here's the screen now. You got it quick. I was gonna just waffle for a bit. Yeah, but
I was like, let me just bring it. Yeah, there we go.
Cool. So what here we've got is Sanchez and goal.
So this was his first season at Brighton. So I've checked this game. I checked the big game.
So Liverpool,
which was Chelsea. This was when they beat Liverpool 3-0. As you can see, you can't see the whole screen, can you? But
that was the first game, yeah.
No, that wasn't his first game. This was halfway during the season. So this is when he started to play 4, because I also looked at not Sunderland. Oh, it's not going to go back now.
Like, I was hearing like a whole heap of different things, but he played like more like what Potter was playing, because obviously Potter had them 4th at the time, and he tried to keep a similar way to what they were playing. And then I remember like Dunk saying he was confused at the tactics because it was too much information too soon, and he was lost. But because he was new to the Premier League, I think he was speaking about him and his translator. So maybe some things got lost in translation, and that wasn't going over into the
thing is, yeah, and the thing is as well, like I was watching the thing about McAllister, how at Brighton he flourished, but at Liverpool he hasn't really, because of the way the system is orchestrated and that pass and move. So I think if you look at that player, like if you look at like Acedo, as brilliant as he is, you have players who are hard workers and who will make those runs for each other like a team. So like,
it's crazy how we've got like them in their strips now. Like Lallana's wearing red and white. You've got Acedo wearing dark, the Chelsea blue.
Yeah,
and I was baffled. I was like, why is McAllister wearing a red top? But then I've just clocked it's doing their teams now. But yeah, no, I hear what you're saying. I think McAllister is a left 8. He's asked to be. He was more of a 10. At Brighton. So since obviously Wirtz has come in, I think McAllister's role's been changed slightly, and he hasn't started as much as well, which has interrupted his rhythm. But as a 10 at Brighton, I remember De Zerbi had him dropping in a lot, taking the ball off the centre back. You start from out, not out to in, but from high to low, from striker position, just behind the striker, running in, picking off the ball from the centre back when he tried to do the third man passes, when they do like a pass forward, second pass would be around the corner, and then the third pass would go into McAllister. Do you know what I mean? And he'll get on a half turn, and it would look like a counter attack straight away.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, here it is.
It's like, the thing is in his formation that's noticeable that he always plays with a double pivot, always. Whether it's 3-4-3, whether it's whatever formation, he always plays with 2 central midfielders who can pivot. But
look at the players that he's got. He's got Grosh and Lallana, both are kind of like 8/10s. Do you know what I'm saying? So they can both drop in between the double pivots and create like a 4 if needed, or a 3. Then he's got the 2 wide players as wingers. Is this against when we lost?
No, we won 2-1.
Oh, we won.
This was in his second season, so I've obviously got up a few.
Yeah, we've been linked with Estepina, by the way. He scored that banger against us. Remember when he scored a banger from the left? I think we were away and we lost 4-1. I think it was
4-2.
4-2. Yeah, because Fink scored in it.
Yeah, I've got it here as well. I'll bring that up as well so people can see. This was obviously his second season, and this is the way he played against us.
Who's in goal? Steele's in goal. Dunk got Van Hecker that we're linked with as well. Van Hecker.
Yeah, Hinselwood. Where does Hinselwood don't play? Did he play the back still?
Yeah, no, he doesn't play right back. But that's what I'm saying. He used midfield.
He plays number 10, didn't he?
Yeah, he plays number 10. But that's what I'm saying. He uses midfielders in the right back position. He did that with Caicedo, and he did that with Milner.
Yeah, because Buonanotte is there as well.
Archie Gray, could you find him in the right back? Maybe too soon now.
What's interesting as when I've looked through, like when you've gone through all these games and what thing you're saying, he always plays with double pivot. The only game he didn't do that in was us in December.
So there we go.
He played Gilmour, and then he played with Gross and Milner in the middle.
Gilmour's quite slight as well, but technically he just kept it very simple.
Yeah, he probably looked at he probably realised that
Sarr and Højbjerg were
they weren't really much of a.
Well, it's like what you're saying, Oren. When you do pass and move, or you do little 1-2s, little triangles, it's like players are chasing shadows. You can't get near them. You know what I'm saying? Because the ball's constantly moving. Like you're there following your man, but then the ball's moving faster than you. Do you know what I mean?
And in truth as well, you had Emerson Royal and Ben Davies as centre back. I mean,
yeah.
Do you know what? You have to give Ange credit, man. Sometimes.
No, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, like.
Yeah.
Like Ben Davies and Emerson Royal.
That's who he had. Buonanotte. I remember he was the number 10. I'm talking about number 10. Buonanotte was there in the number 10. I remember we were linked for him for a little bit last season, I think, or the season before last. Buonanotte. But yeah, Buonanotte, Lallana, and then Ciso is the number 10. Those are the different profiles he had in there. And sometimes Gross would drop in a 10, you know. You'd see Gross playing in
look, there you go.
double
There's
10
that
there.
eight.
Look.
There you go.
And then McAllister, look, he's playing in the 8, playing deeper as a right 8, and Caicedo as a left 8. So he's definitely like mixed it up. Trossard playing on the wide. I think he fell out with Trossard, didn't it? That's why he went to Arsenal. But we were linked with him first, if you don't remember right.
Mm.
We were linked with him, and then we didn't cough up the money. Arsenal coughed up the money, and they ended up with Trossard. Look at signing it's dead now. But Ferguson, he had him playing ultra well. He had him playing out of his socks. But Gross and Solly March, they're both technical players. Both can play in the inside channels or in the midfield, but are happy to go out wide if need be. You know what I mean? So he had a lot of technical players that he inherited, but also like that's what we're going to have to address in the summer, in my opinion. We're going to need a few more players like that can do more than one job, and that way he could be fluid in midfield because you're going to have rotations. He likes the midfielder to play fullback and the fullback to play midfield sometimes and be comfortable with the ball in any position. Do you know what I mean? So yeah, it'll be very interesting. But real quick though, actually, have you not got anything else to say? Because I wanna show you something.
Yeah, go ahead.
You sure?
Mm-hmm.
I don't think you're gonna like this though, Oren. Oren's not gonna like this. So basically, this is back to Ashmatic Analysis. There's a player that I was looking at. No numbers, because I know man them say Ash stats, rare tet. So this one I'm not doing no numbers. We're just gonna use our eyes. You in the chat as well. You lot rate him. See what you think of him. His name is Nicola Fagioli. Yeah, we're all gonna look at it. We're gonna just do the eye coach thing. Yeah, because that's what De Zerbi's gonna do. So obviously, the caveat is it's Serie A. We know it's a different league. So you have to put that tax on it. All right. So let's get out of the way. Serie A, get out of the way. And yes, whatever, YouTube, all the other negative comments. Yeah, YouTube. Blah, blah, blah.
So he's playing for Paratici, yeah?
Yeah, he's playing for Paratici. Yeah.
Coming.
So no. The reason why I say it as well is because we've been linked with Moises Keane, isn't it? Moise Keane. We've been linked with today. And it's not the first time we've been linked with him as well.
Man, you don't bring Moises Keane. You don't bring him back to the Premier League.
I'm just saying. So if we've been linked with Moise Keane, we can be linked with this guy. That's why I did it.
The league hasn't already started. It's weird. It's gone from Spurs winning the championship. Now they're going to be.
Boy, I don't know, innit? We could be the championship.
Stay away from Italian players. Italy is not good right now. Stay away from Italian players.
Ash, not even that. We're going to be in the championship. What are you talking about? So, Ash, free carry us in on a serious note. Zerbi comes in and Ash is like, I can look at Premier League players again. This is Premier League quality. He's like, I'm not looking at championship.
No, I mean, listen, I would do Premier League players, but I don't want to get copyrighted. So
no, I get what you're saying, Ash, but Italian players are not good right now. I mean, that's the third time they've failed to qualify for the World Cup.
No, Oren, we're not going to do this. Save it afterwards. We're meant to do that after. Let me land, isn't it? Let me land. 64 grand wages, isn't it? Yeah.
What's that? How much he gets for not qualifying?
No,
I'm joking.
Euros. 25 years old, June 28. Syria, we know he's one for blah blah blah. He can play as the CDM, attacking midfielder, mainly plays in central midfield. Contract runs out in 2028. There's some of his stats, blah, blah. You don't care about that. That's his heat map, so you can see he's quite busy. But here he is. This is some of his finishing. We're not really going to concentrate on that because I think his position is more of a deep line playmaker. But you can see his finish is not too bad. He's able to dribble into the box here and finish his dinner. Here he gets the ball out of his feet, dribbles in here. Doesn't quite get his finish off here. But as I said, this isn't his main attribute. Does get the finish off in this one. Puts in the corner. Here's some of his assists. This is something he's a little bit better at. You can see there's a top goal there. Picks up the ball from outside the box, puts a cross into the box, and it's a goal. And again, fires that ball out wide and then into the box, and he finishes that nicely. And again, nice little crosses into the box. He's able to assist that through ball here. Nice weight of pass. Easy to get the ball into the forward line. Does it again as well. Nice little layoffs and little through balls. Nice little cutback as well. Here he's in possession. So I want to talk about a bit more. Bit trickery there, little back heel. There he is protecting the ball, dribbles with it, and then he's able to switch to play off the back of it, taking off the goalkeeper. Good in tight spaces and tight areas there. Here he is with a little pirouette, gets away from his man and gets brought down. protecting the ball, decent short, low center of gravity, and again switches the play. He's got good control, little ball over the top, and I think looking at this style of play, this is more of a technical player, something that can work in our system, and we're looking for more technical players that are press resistant. He's got his back to goal there, then he looks to protect it, and then he finds a pass here. There he is again, back to goal, brings it back down, finds a pass, and there he is, just shielding the ball, using his body to find a forward pass, stepping on the ball there, and he just fires his person off. There is long balls. Everyone's talking about Spurs needs a player that can progress the ball, and he's able to get the ball, switch it from left to right, play it into the channels, hit it to the wingers if need be. Here he is there picking up the ball, finding a runner. Like Oren was talking about runners, but here he is picking those balls up and finding these guys in the channels each time. So not only is he press resistant, he's able to dictate. Defending wise, he's there, he's physical, he's getting in between his man, and then he's finding a pass on top of it. He's able to read the game, nick the ball off, and then start attack. There he is, stopping them play in the attacking third, wins the ball. There's a nice little cheeky back heel after winning the ball, nicks the ball from there, brings it forward, and that is my quick presentation on Ravioli. Now you can cuss. Now you can say what you want. Go on.
He's Italian, playing the Italian league. Bentancur written all over it. That's the problem.
So if does that mean we can't look at what's his face? Locatelli then? Locatelli no good or
he's Locatelli?
Huh?
Who's he? I don't even know who he is. Like, that's the thing.
Do you know what? I know Locatelli it's a massive problem. It is a massive problem that it's all samey. We've just experimented. Well, not experimented. I know we saw Bentancur good under Conte for a year, and then he got injured. It's the case of, do we need that sort of player again?
Or what? Someone that can progress the ball from deep, someone that's press resistant.
Figoli's not that, but Locatelli possibly could be that. But
Fagioli plays for Italy. He's an Italian national.
Yeah, but you can see if you on some of your clips there, you can clearly see it was all cross. It was short passing to. It was a lot of sideways, apart from the ones where you were showing it progressive going forward. But I reckon if you looked at him in 90 minutes, it's going to be side, because that's where most of these passes will end up going. And I think the problem.
I'm sure ball carries as well. He was able to.
But they weren't. It just wasn't. When you looked at it and saw the comparison, you did see a lot of Bentancur in it. I actually saw what Oren was saying. There was a lot of Bentancur in it, and we've seen this sort of player before. With Locatelli, slightly different. It's kind of the situation with Locatelli. I go because I think we probably need more of a Locatelli than Fagioli because of the way they're just slightly different. I think we need. He's probably a plan. I think what we need is a complete different midfielder than that right now.
Right, so because I thought the narrative was that we need a progressive passer, someone that can play those balls from deep.
I've been saying it from.
Go on, sorry.
Yeah, no, it's all good. I've been saying it from the start. Like this whole notion of a ball playing midfielder, that's slowly dying out of the game for now.
Fair enough.
Because if you were to name a couple, like, if Spurs was to go in for someone like that, then why not go for someone like Warden from Crystal Palace?
Because he's not obtainable. He's not obtainable, is he?
But he is. He is going to be attainable in the summertime.
Yeah, he's not for the price.
But why not?
Tottenham.
I mean, price-wise, I'm not going to argue, but I don't know if he would come to us because he's not.
That's the other option.
But why not? Because
he's gonna have better options on the table straight away.
Well, if he does, but that's what I'm saying. It's like what I'm saying about Italian league right now. We've seen it so many times where it's not about, yes, he can be technical, yes, he can be good, but there's a reason why Italy haven't qualified for the World Cup for the last 4 years, because the physicality of the Premiership has gone up a notch.
Let's take.
You don't have time.
So let's take Calafiori for talking purposes right now, okay? Because he was someone we looked at. He's been in and out of that Arsenal team like a yo-yo. He's never cemented his place down, especially as a centre back, which is where he's never going to get in front of Gabriel and Saliba. Don't get me wrong, but he's played left back. But knowing then, when it came down to it, you've noticed that sometimes especially when what's his name? I can't pronounce his name. Pierre, the Honduras guy.
Hincapi.
Yeah, he's rotated between the two of them because it always seems to be that
I would say Hincapi versus Calafiori. I think Calafiori is slightly more technical than him on the ball.
Yeah, but this is going back to.
I just think injuries have held back. I think injuries have held him back. That's what it is.
So maybe that's what the problem is.
But if we go through this guy's injury record, it's completely different.
But what I'm saying is, that's what I'm saying. The Premiership has
Premier League, yeah.
Yeah, it's a Premiership.
He'll get injured.
So basically, the Premiership is a lot more physical.
Yeah,
it's not about
Ecuador, not Honduras. Yeah.
And it's basically like, I'm not debating the player's technical ability, but we've seen it with Bentancur. He was great, but he got injured because as soon as you get marked, you're going to get smashed. It's not a case of, how did Bentancur get the injuries? Because of McCann. So what I'm saying is, if Spurs are going to go for a player like that, then it's probably best suited to go for a player who can match the England, because it's the position they're playing in as well. They're playing in a position where,
to be fair, Walton gets injured too.
Yeah, so it's a tough call. But like Marlon said, is that the player that we need, or can Archie Gray play that position?
That's the question is where would you fit him in right now in the situation? Because Bergvall and Archie Gray are meant to be the two future products. Conor Gallagher's there as well at the moment, so that's free. And then we need a defensive mid.
You'd say that. Oh no! Did I not show his defending? So yeah. Anyway, you'd say that
you did, but it wasn't. I looked at it and went, I looked at it and went,
That's cool.
And that was the thing. I looked at it and went, The reason why I looked at it and went, because I didn't see. I looked at the Premier League and went, if he was to come, I think what we're going to know him more for is being more on the ball, and that's what I was more looking, because I think the defensive side of it, when it comes to Italian football, they're not known for the most attacking flair play as much as the Premier League. So I think it's always So when it comes down to it, I was thinking, okay, look, I can't sit there and say he'd be good or not. I'm not sitting there, but if I'm looking at it going, I think there are probably other positions or other players out there in the world that you've probably showed me that would be more suited to what's going to happen over the next 2 years under De Zerbi than maybe this guy. Well, it's not to say like Locatelli is the one that we've been linked with. All right, now we probably
Locatelli is using us because obviously his contract's running low, and I think us coming into the frame, we could get a bumper contract.
Who else is going to want him there at the moment? Juventus, isn't it?
No, Locatelli from Juventus. So apparently his contract's running down, and he's a player that he used to play for Sassuolo, who De Zerbi.
De Zerbi got the best out of him.
He got the best out of him, innit? So that's why there's some links and some strong.
You don't sign Italians or Brazilians at the moment. Those are the two as mashing goes. So you just don't sign them.
It's crazy. Anyway, I won't even bother. But I was gonna say Brennan,
Germany too. Yeah. It's again. Football has changed. It's not the same as before, especially in the Premiership. Like I keep saying, it's like it is. Even Man City, you can see Pep has changed from his little quick ticky-tacky passes to like just. That's why Haaland has thrived in the Premiership, because he's just brute force.
I think Haaland's kind of come off the ball, and a lot of Man City fans are complaining about Semenyo because obviously he's P&P, he's pace and power, he's Premier League proven, but they're saying that other than his game against Liverpool on the weekend, he's been quite inconsistent, and it's the goals that are masking his performances.
Yes,
You know what I mean? But his actual play has been pretty like.
The problem is,
that's what I'm saying.
Doku, isn't it? Doku's probably more an impact, but he's so inconsistent with getting assists and stuff and goals, where Semenyo's complete opposite. Inconsistent, but he gets the goals with it.
Yeah, and that's the thing.
Also,
I think it's
gone.
Yeah, fans. I think what fans expect a dribbler to do now, they'll have to adapt to what the new players are going to be. Like, players are going to be bigger, stronger, and like I keep saying, more physical. You're not going to get little short players dribbling and getting through. Like, if you look at Varts was brilliant for Germany, but in the Premiership he struggled because he just gets bumped off the ball easily. and even like, especially
I
coming
think
to.
if Diaz was still on the team, Verts would look much better, in my opinion.
Yeah, but the thing is, he's not. So that's the point.
They've got Gakpo there, innit? And in
And-
terms of pressing, Gakpo's nowhere near Diaz. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but
It's
that's
also
that's going to be their ID though. If you're going to bring in Verts and sell Diaz, it's kind of a like you have to look at it and go, which players you're going to have around you to make this player shine, and the one player that's probably going to make Verts shine, you've gone and sold. So he's
well,
like,
I think Diaz wanted more money. They said no, so he went. And Diaz is tearing it up.
Correct. Yeah,
Diaz
right.
he's tearing it up in Bayern Munich right now.
It's almost like they didn't believe in Ekatike, so that's when they kept pushing for Isak. Or really, they should have bought the winger. Do you know what I'm saying? That money that they bought for Isak, they should have gone for the winger.
But they've probably thought Ekatike could play there as well, though. That was their issue.
Yeah, that's the problem, exactly. So anyway, I'm going off the subject. So are you saying then the best way to improve his team? Because I'm thinking maybe what De Zerbi might do is to keep.
I think personally, and this will come back to probably haunt me later on.
This is what we're here for, man.
I don't think the midfield is probably the biggest issue it's going to be De Zerbi's biggest issue.
You think we've got the technicality for it? You think we've got the technical players for it?
If we're going to play, if Xavi's going to play the 10, Kulu will be back next year, and so will Maddison, because you've got to include those. We're going to talk about next year now. Just if we stay up, yeah. So you've got those. You got those three as your number 10s. You're gonna have a year after Archie Gray. You're gonna have Bergvall hopefully in getting the guidance under De Zerbi.
Yeah.
So then you are looking. You probably need another. Basuma will be gone.
Yeah.
Paulinho possibly will be gone.
Yeah.
And I think Benson Core will be gone.
3 players. So there's a space.
So when but
next season next season. So I personally think we need to go and sign a DM.
You think Star will still be there, or you think he'll keep?
Star. I think Star will stay.
You think Star will stay? Okay.
I think Star will stay. So so I still think we need that Paulinho type player, and I think it's going to have to be an older head, not a younger head.
Well, if that's happening, if we're going to get rid of Paulinho, he's an older head already.
I'd sign him.
No, but I'm saying if you're thinking that De Zerbi's going to get rid of it, not going to extend it, and that's what a lot of the ITKs and the rumours have said, that we're looking to sell him. Yeah. Then what profile do you think we get in for that number 6 role? Because I'm talking about, you've got one, like from what I understand for the De Zerbi system, you've got one that's a ball carrier, which we have a lot of, and then one's more of a controller. I'm not talking about that off the ball controlling the game. I'm talking about on the ball controlling the game. So there's obviously Paulinho can control the game off the ball, but on the ball is quite limited. If we were not to extend his contract and get a player in that position, this is what I'm asking. Yeah, what does that look like? And then what league are we shopping in? Like, what do you think De Zerbi is going to go? Huh? French. Okay, cool. That's where I'm going next. I'm going to go French next.
Probably French. Because they're probably more, because if you think about when it comes to midfielders, it's more physical. We messed up with Ndombele. We can't take that as that's the pool that we...
Yeah. Of course not.
But if it's not going to be, you kind of have to look in that direction to go. There's probably other midfielders like a Kante that is probably in the French league that's not probably at a top club, that's sitting there, can do the run-in and be that break. It can be the person that's going to break it up. If not that, you can go to South America.
You know what? Look, I'm not going to disagree with you two. Yeah, I'm going to slightly sit on the fence, because if De Zerbi is playing short,
I said.
No, I'm just saying.
If the forward line, I think he needs to improve.
I'm going to my own caveat. If De Zerbi is playing short quite a lot of the times, do we even need that kind of progressive player? Like Oren was saying, are we moving away from that? So he's going to know what to do anyway. Do you know what I'm saying? But I still think he needs a controller and I think a connector.
So he will do.
When that connects defense to the attack.
Yeah, but I don't think it's going to be I don't think it will be that guy. I think he's quite similar to what we kind of have. When I say similar, he might be able to do certain things better. But like you said, he's a CDM, and we kind of need a DM. We need a proper DM. Like, we like Paulinho, but someone who's better on the ball.
Which I think
I can't give any names. I'm sorry.
Yeah, that's the thing. That's exactly the thing.
I'm relying on Ash here.
Yeah, who do you find So it could be where
There is a few Senegalese players that can fit that kind of mold.
Didn't you?
Um,
There was someone
that
that you brought up about a year
There's a guy
ago.
called Lamine Camara, who's plays for Monaco. He's like a mixture of a 6 and an 8, box to box. He can progress the ball from deep, but can also. And then another guy called Sangare as well. Again, of African descent. Again, up and down like a Pape Sarr, but has a bit more technical ability.
That's what we need, but not the super type.
And as good as those African players is, again, the issue is they do go off to the African nations, and it seems that when cold weather happens, they tend to fade. So it's it's I get it, I get it, like, I get it, I get it, but it's when it comes to the cold weather, they're wearing gloves. They're too cold to play.
Some stereotypes are true. Oh yeah,
which, I get it.
All right, I was meant to do this guy, Tyler Morton. I'll show these guys next week.
Yeah, do Tyler Morton next week.
Yeah, who does he play for, and where is he?
Leon. You can do the research on them if you want.
Yeah, that's all good. It's like, I think it's, but like Marlon said, I don't think that's a priority. I think the priority is getting a left winger, and basically sorting out. Like Richarlison's he's in his last year of his contract, right? Richarlison.
Mm-hmm.
So is he gone? The Mikey Polina.
2 years.
The Mikey Polina. It's who I think it's more sorting out.
You don't think Mikey Moore starts next season? Not starts, but he gets into the team.
No, Michael Moore will start next season.
Yeah,
there's so much on him right now. There's
on
so
hype
much
as well. Yeah, and he's especially if Rangers win the league after what they've been through this year, like how far behind they were at one point.
Yeah,
and he's now back in the team. He's now playing in his position. What's his name? Is it Danny Rowe? I think that's the guy's name.
Yeah.
Danny Rowe literally went, "No, you're not playing there. You're playing here." And Rangers fans are loving it.
Was it Chris Martin? Was that the guy who bought him?
Russell Martin.
Yeah. I've been watching.
It's personal when it comes to Russell Martin.
Yeah, I've been watching. There's a YouTube channel that just shows all the Mighty Moore highlights.
Okay.
And he has played pretty much all season, the full. Especially with the new manager coming in, he's played on the left. And the rate, like I have 2 friends who are Rangers, they've seen him. It's like, yeah, they're surprised that Spurs haven't called him back. But the question that I ask now. Can Mikey Moore do it in the Premiership? Will he be another promising potential who just doesn't have the quality?
How old is he now? How old is he?
He's 18, isn't he?
18, yeah.
18, he's 18.
But is he, at Rangers, he's not exactly tearing it up. He is playing great. Don't get me wrong, he's playing great. He's making runs. He's obviously making little mistakes, but that's a lower league.
Oren, you're on fire tonight, but carry on. You're on fire.
Yeah, so it's just a question of does Mikey Moore, does he turn out to be one of those players who had all the hype but never quite lives up to the potential that we think? Like, who was it? Marcus Edwards? He was meant to be the next Lionel Messi, or the Lionel Messi of England, and look what happened to him. It's a very like, I'm not saying Mikey Moore won't, but I'm saying, can Spurs afford
careful?
Yeah, I'm not saying it's will he be, because
it's a valid question because
him and Ethan Wanyeri are the two meant to be the next generation. And Ethan Wanyeri is a Marseille now, isn't he, on loan?
Yeah.
So for those two,
because obviously they're saying the young guy they got now is meant to be better than him.
Who?
Max Dowman.
Oh, Max Dowman. But yeah, Max Dowman is going to probably be the next big thing.
Wanyeri can't get back in. Wanyeri's his days are numbered. But yeah, carry on. Sorry.
Tend to come Spurs, isn't it? Him and Mikey Moore together.
De Zerbi was playing him, so.
Well, this is the thing, and Danny's throwing me off.
Yeah, no, it's crazy, but no, it's a genuine question because Tell, obviously, we don't know what Tell said. He's just focusing on this season, isn't it? And a lot of fans aren't fans of Tell. Oren's not a fan as well of Tell, but
I think Mikey Moore will be. I think if we can manage him well, he is made for the Premier League. we've just got to manage him well, because obviously he had the big illness last year.
So, but everyone's been asking for the left wing. That's the problem. That's the. Like, I was just talking about a ball playing midfielder. You're saying, no, you think it's the left wing situation.
But maybe
that's when I brought up Mikey Moore. I'm like,
it needs to be Mikey Moore and one more. It can't be you, Mikey Moore.
Where does Tell go in all of this? If Tell like is
Tell's going Paris FC, bro.
Do you think De Zerbi will sell him? Yeah. Do you think?
Yeah. I think there's going to be a massive clear out in the summer as well.
Fair enough.
I think even though we want to sign players, he's going to look at these 7 games and he's going to go, all right, I can't. This guy's not going to make it with me. This guy's not going to make it with me. He will know, no matter who we see a change of fortune from. It'd be a bit like Aaron Lennon and Pochettino.
Yeah,
where Aaron Lennon was absolutely
put it out there. I'm going to say I don't know with Tell. I'll be honest with you. As much as he's had an up and down season, a lot of managers haven't fancied him. And he hasn't played that many games. I still don't know. Now there's a new coach at the helm. I don't know if De Zerbi sees something in him and thinks, I can work with his kids, someone that plays from out to in as a forward, or if he just thinks, you know what, because there is a rumour that with De Zerbi that he fancies Somerville. Do you know what I'm saying? So could he Tell, bring Somerville in? And I think Somerville profile is a bit like Odebert, but that the finished article of Odebert. You know what I'm saying?
The thing is with
forgot about you.
Yeah, Hotspur as well. That's the thing.
He's got assist on there as well.
The thing is with Tell, and this is what I brought up again mid-season.
I was thinking this.
It's
I thought that.
Yeah.
That's why I brought it up. Because you're saying you reckon he'll start next season.
I reckon he'll start because if we're in the Championship, he definitely starts.
Right. I think
one game a week, so it's real talk. Like, how many games is he actually playing? He's getting more development on loan if he goes at Rangers, as opposed to if he starts a lot.
Yeah, but if we're in the Championship, he's getting 2 games a week, so he'd be fine.
The thing is,
I think, like, in all honesty, and all this, I know we're thinking, but are we now on the band that we're not going down?
No. We always got to oppose shows like this, like that we are staying up, but.
Like, I've said it before. Spurs aren't going to go down.
Oh no, you were the one that said. Yeah.
I've always said it because there's 3 teams. There's 3 teams that. Sorry, just before you, the 3 teams.
Yeah.
No, we don't care about your
West Ham, Leeds, and Nottingham Forest. I know Nottingham Forest got the win, but you have to remember Nottingham Forest is still in the Europa League Cup, and that's going to affect them as well. So there's, I don't.
That win might be their last win.
I don't think Spurs are going to go down. I think it's going to. Well, depending on the games, I just have a strong feeling that Spurs aren't going to go down. They're going to win.
The further they go in a competition, the less likely they are to stay up. Is that you reckon?
Yeah.
You don't think Pereira might start thinking, I might need to prioritise the league over a Europa League winning the cup?
Who?
Don't you think Pereira, their manager, might look at...
It's fatigue. It's fatigue at the end of it. Because, again, if you look at the Nottingham Forest game against Spurs, yes, I know that was a big thing, but it wasn't like Spurs. It was even the goal they scored was against their run of play. And so, therefore, and obviously what happened with Tudor, I do believe that he knew at halftime what had happened, but he couldn't exactly walk out. So he had to, the players just looked drained. And again, if you look at the goals, it wasn't like Nottingham Forest was almost all over us. It was just a weird thing. But back to Till. Till's biggest issue is his attitude. Bayern Munich. Bayern Munich brings him from Lens. And even they've said, he wants to do everything. He wants to be the big man. He wants to be the big show. He doesn't know when to just be humble or to just, bring his teams in. And even with Frank, he wanted, I play here. Frank says no. I don't think Tell is a team player as such. He's a me player. I will do everything on my own. I will be the hero. I will make these runs. And the thing is, he's had opportunities to scores and he hasn't. He's blasted the ball over. He's taken, and I remember what was the game against? It was against Atletico Madrid, where he gets cleared, and he took a shot when Archie Gray and I think Solanke was there to tap the ball in, or whoever, Kalamamani, and they both turn around and was like, "Why didn't you?" And he just blanks them, just ignores them. I think he's a player he's a very.
But don't you need the arrogance? I don't know.
There's a difference.
Arrogance and self-belief. Because I saw the Zerbi talking to him. In the trade, and I know I shouldn't read too much into the training, whatever. But obviously,
Ash is hooked, bro.
Well, listen.
Ash is gone.
What do you mean? I'm saying, listen, look.
Ash is all in.
All in and Till.
Wait.
What's the Till boy?
Social media needs the content. You know what I'm saying? You can't make content, cuz. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? You got to talk about something. I don't know. But I'm saying that when he's talking to him, it looks like he feels like he could improve him maybe slightly. He might have a role for him.
Yeah, no matter
just
what,
throw
though,
that
what
out
I'm
there.
saying is that
He might respect him and say, you know what, let me be humble. And even when he was arguing with the fans, remember against Fulham when he was under Ange, he wasn't coming across as arrogant. He was like he was trying to help. And even he said, I don't want to talk about other clubs. My focus is to keep Tottenham up. You know what I'm trying to say? And Romero, obviously, he was asked the same kind of question when he was at the international break. And Romero's response, I'm not going after Romero. I'm just kind of paraphrasing. And he was like, my fitness, he was talking about his fitness. My fitness isn't where it should be. And we're not in a good position where Tottenham are at the moment. But I don't want to talk about my future right now. Do you know what I'm saying? So that was
like Rodri and
kind of
McAllister, yeah, singing like canaries.
I don't know. Like, look, he's the captain. Tell, obviously, look, I think Tell needs to do better, me personally. So I'm not gonna go here and defend him. But I say when it comes to mentality, that's one thing I'm not gonna
He gives at the moment for what we need. He's given 100%.
That's what I'm trying to say. That's what I'm trying to get at. I know what Aaron. Go on.
He's given 100%.
Ability is different. Football ability, there might be a debate. Do you know what I'm saying?
That's the thing. He's given 100%, but what is that 100% actually providing? Is he creating chances? Is he scoring goals? All I see him is that he gets the ball.
Yeah, but then when he's not there, I know what you're going to say. But when he's not there, then we're a player less. We've got someone not committed, and we're still doing it. At least he's fighting, and I think that's the issue.
I mean, all right. But let's put this way, yeah.
And I know what you mean. We need the quality.
If you had the front three, and remember, Kudus ain't going to make it. Kudus doing individual training. He won't be available to Brighton game, right? We established that earlier in the show. Who's your front three at the moment? Or front two, or front four. I don't know. What formation are you going for?
I said it last week. Richarlison left, Solanke up top, and then who am I missing? I won't put Moani.
Who's your boy?
Yeah, but I don't know. It depends. It depends. I'd probably at the moment you'd have to stick Tell out there.
See, that's the thing. It's like, why not play Till on the right, since he's a right footer? I don't understand that philosophy. Like, because if you play a right footer on the right foot, he's more like, because even the goal he scored or he put for Colin Moani, that really nice pass was right foot. He's right footed. So I'm thinking, like, why not just play him on the right foot? At least because I kind of get that he runs forward, but if you have to cross and have to check back, that's what you're thinking of mine, like Just Spence. But if you're putting him on the right, you go, right, we know you've got the pace, you can run him behind, just hit the ball, and he will do that. So maybe again Zerbi looks at him and goes, right, well, how can we simplify these players' games for now? Like, that's all we need, just to simplify it.
Do you not rate his ball striking? Is that what you don't like, or is it his decision making?
It's based on his decision making, I think. And again, I understand it because
can that not be coached because he's quite young? Can you not?
Yes, I get it though. What this has shown though in all of this is that decision making comes with pressure as well, and he just makes even against I can't remember the game where he made a really bad pass to Sarr, which lost the ball. He just makes decision that no, Perez should never be a right winger. Never, ever. should be a right winger. No. We've seen what happened against no. We've seen what Perez is not an attacker. He showed that. That was something we're talking about. He is not an attacker. He doesn't have the ability to get in the byline or to get past. He's a defender. So, but I think with Tell, it's just about right. Keeping it simple. Stop trying to get the whole fans with you and trying to be the hero. Keep it simple. Play as a team. So if he's able to do that, then that's good. Because like again, if we look at the great players, they all knew how to play as a team. Maybe Ronaldo didn't all the time, but he knew how to set things up. Messi was all about the team, so it's about Messi was about the team. Well, he was great as well. I'm not like that's the exceptional. But what I was saying earlier was that, or to someone was that, yes, I'm not saying Tel is at Messi's level, but Messi had Xavi, he had Iniesta, he had players who can rely on. Whereas Till has to be able to like play within a team, make decisions for I'm going to be selfish. I'm going to sacrifice myself off the ball instead of getting the ball, making a run, and I can't pass it, or I'm going to take a shot where I could have passed it to someone else. So maybe that could happen, but we will find out.
No, it's just a point. I'm going to read something I've just seen, if I could bring it up real quick. It's from De Zerbi. It's a quote from him, and he says, if you guys can see this, let's put it underneath like that, make it a bit larger. I'll read it out. De Zerbi. So previously stated that seeing the ball in the air hurts his heart because as a former attacking midfielder, he prefers the ball to always be played on the ground. He brings with him attacking high energy style football where every player represents a central link in making the system work as a single unit, and the out and out striker remains one of the most pivotal roles in the setup. In an interview with Sky Sports conducted by Glenn Murray during his time training in Brighton, De Zerbi spoke at length about building play from the back and using 6 players to draw out the opponent's press, while also touching on what he expects from his strikers and how he likes to adapt to his players' strengths. And he said, "I love playing with different solutions based on the diverse characteristics of the player, because they're the ones that are out there on the pitch, and it's up to them to find the solutions. You can't move a player with a game controller like you can play on a computer on PlayStation. If we want to control the game, we need the number 9 to be smart enough to understand when he needs to get involved in play, when he should attack the space, and when he needs to open up space behind him for a player like Matoma, for example, or open up another space in front of the penalty area. If you're playing in my team, you have to work for the players first and foremost. Then, of course, we cannot forget our style. We cannot forget the quality of our play if we want to compete with the big teams. In the system lies the identity. There's my history, there's my personality, and there's my madness too."
Yeah, pretty much what we've been saying. Because he did, I did watch Sky Sports when he did get interviewed. He had a clipboard. And basically the guy was saying, "Can he show us in the clipboard?" And he tried to, and he's like, "Listen, I can't show you in a clipboard. I don't do really clipboards. I want to show you. If you're on a training pitch, I can show you more clearly. So fingers crossed you're not going to get, a scene where a player's going to come on and you have a manager with a clipboard going, doing that, especially doing it to Richarlison, because Richarlison isn't picking up anything." So I think it's a case of what Zerbi does is make things simple, fun, and enjoyable, and not demanding loads of, "Oh, I want you to move here. I want you to do this with the ball. I want you to do this." It's, as I said, playing a triangle, create an overlap with 6 players, and pass and be brave.
What do you make of the comments that Ben Jacobs was saying on Last Words of Spurs? He talks about Nick Boucher and Vivian Lewis are prepared to seize control and step back to trust the manager to succeed in his domain, and De Zerbi's voice in recruitment will carry a lot of weight. Do you think that's the right move in giving De Zerbi the power?
That's what I'm saying. They have to. That's the only way he would have signed. We've been saying this for years. Like, the managers need to be able to. It's not even a case of. I think managers like, "These are the players I would like," and then the board went, "Well, these are the players we're going to get." So it has to be changed. These are the players I want, and the manager, "Okay, well, these are the players you're going to get. Those players." There is no going back from Munich now. They cannot go back.
Yeah, they need to basically all they need to do is give them a budget in the summer,
Which will.
and then say, if you sell any players, you add on top of your budget. So they know what it is. There's no getting around it.
Mhm.
You've got £200 million to spend. If you sell 3 players and they come up for combined 100 million, you've got £300 million to spend, kind of scenario. Right? I'm just using a random number. That's all they need to do. And then they don't get involved. And then this is where Daniel Levy used to fall down, was because he used to want to negotiate the best price possible, which, you know, sometimes is the case, but sometimes with certain players, you just need to get them through the door. And it's always the ones that he tried to negotiate with, the ones that we needed to get through the door, he lost. And they're the ones that could have made a difference. So it's going to be really interesting what they do.
And get players who actually want to come to Spurs, not use Spurs. That's what I'm saying. Like, it's going to be very interesting, because I do think the relegation battle plays a big part in it as well.
It's got to be clever this summer as well.
Yeah, because if, say, West Ham do go down, then I think Spurs might go for Somerville instead of Matuma.
Well, that's what
You know.
apparently he wanted him at Brighton.
Yeah, and so it's like, even if, I mean, Nottingham Forest, if they struggle, it could be kind of like, do they?
I mean, Mr. Marinakis might say something different, so I don't know. But yeah, it'll be interesting to see what happens there.
The World Cup plays a big part as well. Huge, because if players are getting this much injury when they haven't played a World Cup, what they're going to be like after a World Cup.
And then you're going to have the players that do well at the World Cup who are going to get bought and they're going to be completely crap as well. Them players to think about, it's going to be horrible. The summer window is going to be horrible. Yeah,
you don't know who to buy in, if they're going to be good or not. Then you have the injuries as well. So next season is going to be a lot more injuries, I think. A lot more injuries. And especially, like, that's what I'm saying, like, it's a bit off topic, that if Arsenal win the league, which I personally think they will very closely, I think next season they'll crumble. I think that'll be the start of a massive decline. Because when they've won the league, they'll have to raise their bar even higher. And those players are already starting to struggle, like Xhaka. Xhaka hasn't, I think he hasn't actually had a good season when it comes to assisted scoring. You know, and I think that when it's going to be a completely different league next season. You're going to have, like I said, the top players, because they've been run into the ground, they're going to pick up more and more injuries. Like Jude Bellingham, he's spitting up more injuries. Trent Alexander, he's filtering in and out. So yeah, the World Cup's going to change everything, and especially like playing in America as well. The heat, the humidity, Mexico and Canada, traveling around the place. You know, it's going to be mentally draining for a lot of players.
Do we do a score prediction for Sunderland?
No. We can end it on that if that's possible.
Yeah, we can end it on that. What do you reckon then?
Score
Mr. Giddy Ash.
I'm more than giddy, bro. Like I said, there's not else to talk about, cuz.
Bro, you're content. You're giddy.
There's not much to talk about. You have to talk about it. What else are you going to talk about?
Right.
How great De Zerbi is.
Well, listen, I'm going to stand on business. I'm still surprised we were able to pull that one off. I know money talks, but the position that we were in, and
but our back was up against the wall. We had no choice. And we've always spent on managers. It's one thing that Spurs have always done. It's just, it was always going to be a figure. And they got to desperation stage. De Zerbi went, you know what? Fuck it.
Yeah. He's in a win-win situation.
He's in a win-win situation, because if he quits in the summer and he stays up, he really gets his bonus for keeping us up.
Or if he goes down, they'll say, at least I tried, but now I have a full season to make this team the exact team I want for them coming back up. But if he stays up, it's all like, well, I've kept these up.
Let's do this.
Yeah.
De Zerbi in or De Zerbi out? I don't know. I just want to know where we stand. I didn't say Ash is giddy. I want to know where we stand.
What have you done, Marlon? You created something.
What have you created, Marlon?
Look at him. You got the evil laugh. He's got the evil laugh on. Marlon's getting tired.
I want to know where we stand as YouTubers.
Look, of course he's going to be in it. He hasn't even played a game yet. Ash is even drinking an empty carton.
Yeah, once we lose 4-0 to Sunderland, yeah, I'm all out.
No.
Catching out, yeah?
I think I personally believe Spurs will get their first win against Sunderland. I don't want to predict the score, but I think they'll get the first win against Sunderland.
I don't think we'll win. I think we'll get a draw.
I'm agreeing. I was going to say draw as well.
I think we'll get a draw. I
I
think
think
it
it's
will
going
be.
to take a little while before, because I think you'll find out a lot about this team. I think the players will. There's something about the players that he's going to be like, okay. Just like when Budo walked in as well, and he was like,
Yeah, I think we'll lose to Brighton at home.
I'm not sure about that. That's what
I think we'll lose to Brighton at home, and that'll be the kick up the arse because we've got Wolves, Villa, and Leeds as our next 3 games.
Yeah,
that's where I think the switch, because that's I think because the Zerbi, like you said, the Zerbi don't know what's hitting yet.
Yeah.
So I think the draw will
it's all hugs and sweet and like, you know what I'm saying?
We'll
like I said, the training videos,
we're going to be losing to Brighton at half time.
Yeah. I just think Brighton at half time. Something that wakes them up. And it's going to be like
Brighton at half time. It will be Brighton at half time where he goes, "What the are you lot doing? Are you lot stupid?"
I don't want to be racist, so I'm not going to say it. My head. Smart. He's going to flip it. I feel like his head will flip, and like, that's
Brighton's going to be the game, because it's also going to be against these old employers as well, which he wants to prove a point. No matter what, he will come out with that week. He'll want to prove a point to say, look,
all the fans are going to be out, boy. They're going to be out. It's a Zerbi welcome party. Don't know if you don't know in the chat.
It's going to be interesting. It's going to be interesting.
The Zerbi welcome party.
Again, it's all going to boil down to. All it's going to boil down to is that team sheet, that team lineup. Every game when you see that team lineup.
What is that team lineup? What is the ideal team lineup?
We don't know. We don't know. That's the thing.
Whoever's fit.
No. But what's a team lineup when you're like? There's always a team lineup where people thinking, "What are you doing? Why?"
Okay, so King's in goal.
If he's not playing, are you not looking at him different? That's
no. I've told you no. King's in goal. Porro right back. Doggy, if he's fit, left back. Van der Ven, Romero as your 2 centre backs. We've seen 2 pivots, so it's going to be Paulinho and Gray. Yeah. That number 10, I don't know. And it will be Tell, whoever on the right. I think whoever he can find. If you can find someone in a local park to go play on the right, and then Solanke up top. So it's number 10 and the right. I don't know who's going to play there.
What is this, man?
So back 4, I think it's going to be Porro, Van der Ven, Romero, Spence. Middle, I think it's going to be Paulinho and Conor Gallagher.
Oh, Conor Gallagher will play the 10.
As a number 10, I think Xavi. And then up front, it's going to be hopefully Till on the left, Till on the right, Solanke in the middle, and Richarlison on the left.
Does Conor Gallagher look happy to you? Like, or am I reading too much into that?
How would you be happy if you've come to a club and the whole entire majority of the fan base have accused you of you playing shit?
And you haven't won a game. You haven't won a game.
You know what I mean? Like he's come into a time. Like, think about it. He's come in and 2 managers have been sacked. You know what I mean? Haven't won a game. Injuries around him. Have to play out of position.
He thought he left Chelsea and now they're circus.
You know what I mean? So,
what the hell?
Yeah, I mean, this, like, even for Xavi, I don't think someone like Xavi has ever went through what he's went through. 2 managers getting booed. That's what I'm saying. It's like this season, it's very hard to judge any new signings because I don't think those players have ever been through that. I don't think any players, even the ones who've been there, has been through the extreme, which is odd because Frank was meant to be the guy that calmed everything down, but yet he got the most fucking stick. Yeah. I've never ever heard a team say you're getting sacked in the morning to the manager. I mean, that's a new level. That's a whole new level.
Obviously, it's a weird club, but you need a big personality to manage this club, man. I think you need.
I think De Zerbi's. That's where I'm think because of the circus that we are and the circus that De Zerbi brings. After 18 months, as everyone has said, I think it'd be a perfect match made in heaven. I don't think people realise that. Why the hell are we going to bring in a manager that's stable to basically would kill Harry Redknapp right now? That's why he's
Heart attack.
that's why he's pre-recorded in the jungle.
They murdered him.
It would fucking been harder because the pressure, like the media pressure, like that's the thing. It's not just with
but the media will be alright with Harry. They'll be exactly the way they were with Thomas Frank.
Yeah, but the thing is, it's like they're always waiting for Spurs to fall apart, asking silly ass questions. Because when Zerbi has the pre-match, your fans are going to ask him about the whole Mason Greenwood thing, and he'll have to answer it very carefully. You're like, look, I'm not here to talk about that right now. I'm here to talk about this, and then of course YouTube's like,
he won't have to answer that because the press person will make sure that's done and dusted.
Yeah. So it's going to be interesting. As I said, Sunday comes, the team sheet comes out. That's where it's going to decide.
You still haven't asked the question. Is there a player that throws you off and you think, what the hell is De Zerbi doing? Like,
what do you mean?
Bro, I've seen Tudor and Thomas Frank play people in positions that throw me completely off. I don't think there's anything that can surprise me. Unless Solanke's playing centre-back. That'll probably be it.
Or something like that. Yeah, like, I mean, the fact that Tudor's last game playing Spence and Pearl on the same side. It's like, what?
Yeah.
And then he changed it and played Bergville as a right wing. Like, right, or what? I don't know what he did.
Does anyone think Spence will start or not? It's straight your doggy.
Spence should start with that. I don't rate Destiny Doggy.
I think the doggy will start for balance.
Yeah, but how quickly does he get injured?
That's why he needs to use him now.
You got Sousa and your doggy are fit, and Spence and Porro are fit on the right.
I don't think Spence unfortunately plays.
Yeah. Does that mean he misses out for England then?
Yeah.
Never know.
But that's not down to him not playing for Spurs. That'll be down to him and what Tuchel's seen for him for England. Because he's seen him. He knows what he can bring. He doesn't need to play these last 7 games in the England squad.
Yeah, where does Spence... Does he play in the right for England, does he? That's a
you know what? We should be embarrassed because that right there tells you none of us watch England.
Yeah, exactly. I don't know.
We should be embarrassed.
Does he play in the? Does he play in the left or does he play in the right? And here's the weird thing. I think Spence is so used to playing on the left that he's more accustomed to playing on the left than the right. He seems to have better games on the right, on the left. And Destiny Udogie, I understand you want balance. I do. Though when he plays, he tends to want to be in the center, so he doesn't cross the ball. Like Destiny Udogie very, very rarely crosses the ball.
We need fullbacks that can overlap and cross the ball into the box. Because we've got Spence and Udogie that can overlap, but they can't cross the ball into the box. Then you've got Porro that can't overlap, but he can cross the ball into the box.
Yeah. So again,
make it make sense, man.
Yeah, it's basically as I said, this is not with just Destiny. I think Destiny was I said this a couple of seasons ago. I don't think Destiny Udogi's body is built for the Premiership. I think he'll get more and more injuries. And the same injuries.
Never Italian.
Yeah. He'll get more and more injuries. I don't think he's suited because Destiny Udogie is a guy who played left wing back. So
Spence played left back.
Yes, so there we go. There we go.
Livramento was right back.
There we go. I do believe that Spence, in a weird way, is a better defender at left back than Destiny Udogie, and he might not be able to cross. Yeah, I don't know. I think you don't really. I get the whole Destiny Udogie thing, but there was a training video, like I said it before as well, that the managers or the coaches took Destiny Udogie to cross the ball. And then the very next match, he didn't do it. He does. I've never seen him, especially when he's not fit, he will stay up. He will actually stay up near the penalty area because he can't. He doesn't want to he doesn't want to run up and down.
There you go. Spence for my right winger.
Could be, but he's a left back. So if he's playing left back for England, that goes to show something.
The thing is, I've been watching England throughout the World Cup, but I ain't got no clue where Tuchel's been there for the last 18 months.
I don't think he knows what he's doing.
To be fair, Tuchel's been. I think the last 2 games just shown. Yeah, the loss against Japan.
He was trying to blame it because he said he didn't have Kane. He
didn't have these injured players, did he? Once you ain't got Kane, I think that's what he's kind of saying.
Yeah.
Which all he had to say in the next sentence was, "Well, look where Tottenham are without Kane," and he could have got away with it.
think it's more but yeah, I think Sunderland is going to be Spence. Spence is.
I think, now that I've seen that Spence played left, I think it will be Spence. I don't think
he doesn't. I don't trust Destiny Dogie at left back.
Yeah, but it's not you. It's the Zerbi, innit?
Left out. Wow.
Yeah, but still, I think if the Zerbi watches, Destiny Dogie switches off as well. He does tend to switch off.
So does Spence.
Yeah, but not as much as Destiny.
He does.
No, he doesn't.
He does.
Wait.
Mate, that's why everybody's like literally been screaming at Spence to be. They think he's been crap at left back because he switches off.
No.
What Tottenham are you watching?
No. He's had some good displays. Spence have had better, during the season, Spence have had better performances than Destiny Dogie.
That's because Destiny Dogie ain't played.
Because he's injured. So therefore, it's like, and then I just think Destiny Dogie is going to be one who gets sold in the summer as well. Because of his injury.
He's injured, yeah.
He's always injured. He's not, nothing's changed. He's always pulling the same hamstrings, or he doesn't have the mindset to, whatever. So, it's going to be interesting. But that's my team lineups.
All right, let's get to our super chats and call it a day.
Yeah. The stream has lasted longer than when it's like 4 or 5 people.
Yeah. We've allowed Ash to talk.
Oh, yes. What is this between these two? What's happening here? What's going on?
Working together too long.
Yeah. Hey, I always enjoy that laugh way too much.
Yeah, way too much.
Hey,
fire him.
Yeah, go ahead, Ash. Go. Do your super chats.
One from, I think that's Chang. I'm gonna say Chang. Thanks for the content beyond midnight. Loving it. Thank you, Chang, for the super chat, and also to Daniel Field. He says, with the words behind the scenes, a rainbow clapperboard, but with the scene. I can't let it be on midnight, man. I can't get more.
A rainbow clapperboard with the words behind the scenes.
I can't get my words out, but thank you for your super chat. Yeah. Thanks to everyone who's joined us tonight, because it's been quite quiet on the Spurs community front tonight as well, to be fair. I think last word on Spurs went at 8. There was no Spurs 5. Harry was at 7. Everyone's kind of taken the week off, but we'll always be here for you on a Monday, no matter the weather. Apart from there is a Monday night game that's been scheduled in against Leeds that we probably won't be here for now.
No, why not? What time's it finish at?
Yeah, we will be asked to do every Tom, Dick, and Harry, me and Ash that night. It's just.
I mean,
we'll see how it goes.
I mean, Tuesday could do Tuesday.
Yeah, we might move it 24 hours back to our old slot for that one night.
Do it live. I'm only joking. I'm only messing.
Depends
where we both are that night.
Yeah. Hopefully,
match days are difficult.
Leeds got through, didn't they? FA Cup.
Yeah.
So that could play an impact.
I think that's why we moved to the Monday.
Ah, that could play an impact then. Yeah.
I was gutted when that game moved to the Monday as well. But yeah, Spurs Leeds to Monday night.
Yeah.
P.S. I would love it if we got Ndai. I know it's random, but I'm just saying. I don't think we could get hope, but Ndai would be a lovely.
We've got another one. We've got another super chat. Sorry, I didn't see it. Yeah. A user always comes in with a super chat, so generous. Big up. I think we deserve it. Whatever that means. But now, big up to everyone that's joined us in the chat tonight. It's been absolutely wonderful. We've managed to actually just talk about De Zerbi. Yeah. Let's see how it goes.
To be fair.
Yeah. Well, I did, because people having a go at me 2 weeks ago when I predicted half of this stuff, and they were like, "What are you doing?" And I turned up late to a stream, and I knew Tudor was gone. Mention no names.
Let it go.
I told my daughter that one time. Let it go. Don't be that Ash. You're in my house, Ash. But now, big up to everyone. Please make sure you like, subscribe, and comment. If you haven't already, go watch our rivals video and see how many of our rivals actually think we're going to go down as well. Are you back Wednesday?
Are they thinking we're going to go down as well?
It's touch and go for our rivals as well.
Listen, you see Wednesday. Listen, I'm looking to be about
The Arsenal fans won't be
lining up
about, will
people
they?
already, so it's going to be interesting. Obviously, Liverpool.
Won't be a
plays straight
gooner on the
after.
show.
Yeah, I know, but all right. I'm booking the Liverpool fans in from now, so it should be all
Who's
good.
Arsenal playing in the Champions League?
Sporting.
All right, yeah. So they'll get through that then.
Mate,
Well.
the way they're crumbling at the moment.
Well,
No, you want Arsenal. I want Arsenal to get to the semi-finals and then get knocked out because that's even worse.
The likelihood is they'll get Atletico or Barca. That's the only problem, and I think they'll smash Barca. I watched Barca on Saturday night, and yes, they were good in spells, but Arsenal would literally take them to pieces.
Okay.
Defensively, they're just way too high. They can't defend set pieces. It was like, oh my god, these lot can't play Arsenal. It will be
Gabriel, Xhaka, Rice, Timber.
they're all back.
They're all back.
Yeah, they're all back.
Okay.
Well, Gabriel played at the weekend, didn't he?
Yeah.
Apparently, yeah.
He's back to back.
He's back.
Well, yeah, man. Love for that,
Yep.
man. Love
Yep.
for the
All
show.
good.
Make sure you hit the like, share, and subscribe button on the way out, man.
Big up.
Peace.
Yeah.